not get up at all.
ಸೊ ಗಾಯ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನಾನು ರಾಹುಲ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ವಿಷಯ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಟಿ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಯರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗೆದ್ದಿದ್ದ ನಮ್ಮ ಟೀಮ್ SMR ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು FFMIC Fall 2026 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಯರ್ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ವಿತ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ 12 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೋಡೋಣ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಇಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಕಾಯ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ವಾಚ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ರೇಜಿ. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗೈಸ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಟೀಮ್ SMR, ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ನಮ್ಮ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ಸು ಒಂದೇ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಬೂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಇದೆ, ಬೂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬೂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಗೈಸ್, ಎಲ್ಲ ಇವಾಗ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ನಡೆದಿದೆ. ಟೀಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಟೀಮ್ SMR ಇವಾಗ ಆಗಿರೋದು. ಸೊ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಒನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ವಿತ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದು 12 ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಟೀಮ್ SMR ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಅದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲ ಗೈಸ್, ಸಾಕಾಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಟಾಪ್ 9 ಅಲೈವ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ SMR ಬರೀ 7 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಅಂಡ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ಟಾಪ್ 1 ಟೀಮ್ ಬರೋ ಅಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲೇನೆ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಗೈಸ್ 12 ಕಿಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 6 ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ನಿಜವಲ್ಲೂ. ಬಟ್ ನಿಜವಲ್ಲೂ ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ನೋಡೋಣ, ಹಂಗೆ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಒಂದು ಇದು ಹೈಲೈಟ್ಸ್ ಹಂಗೆ ನೋಡಿ ಗೈಸ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೈಕಾಗಿ ಆಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸೈಕಾಗಿ ಆಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಟೀಮ್ SMR ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋಣ ಹಂಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, SMR ಸಂಕೇತ ಒಂದು ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು TSG ಅವ್ರನ್ನ. ಬಟ್ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದ್ದು. ಬಟ್ SMR 12 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಟಾಪ್ 1 ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ರು. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 6 ಟೀಮ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು 6-7 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ. ವಿತ್ 12 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ SMR ಸಂಕೇತ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಎಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು ಇದು ರೀಪ್ಲೇ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 16 ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ತರ ರೀಪ್ಲೇ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಝೋನ್ ಬರಕ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಈ ತರ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಹೌದು ಗೈಸ್, ಝೋನ್ ಬರೋ ತರನೆಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ನೀವಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇದೊಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಒಂದು ಮಸ್ತ್ ಇರೋ ಅಂತ ಲಾಬಿ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ TSG ಇದಾರೆ, ಸಿ ಇದೆ, ಸ್ಕೈಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಇದಾರೆ, CTZ ಇದಾರೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಗೈಸ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಲಾಬಿನ ನಮ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದವ್ರು ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಮೆಚ್ಚಬೇಕು ಗೈಸ್. ಯಾರು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ವ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು, TSGಗೂ ಮತ್ತೆ SMRಗೂ ಫೈಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಬಿತ್ತು. ಸೈಕಾಗಿ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿರೋದು ಗೈಸ್. ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ವಿಚ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಪಾಪ ಸೈಕಾಗಿ ಆಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ರು. ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ವಿಚ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಬಲ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಗೈಸ್. ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಆಗೋಗಿರೋದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರು, ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ 3 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್, ಆ ಕಡೆ 3 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರು. ಈಸಿ ಬುಯಾ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಫಾರ್ SMR ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ SMR ಟೀಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು, ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ವಿಚ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರು ಬಾಬಾ. ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ವಿಚ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಬುಯಾ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಟೀಮ್ SMR ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ಎರಡು ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಫೈರ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು ಈಗ ಧ್ರುವಾರು ಡೌನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು. ಸಂಕೇತ್ ಅವ್ರು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದ್ರು. ಸೆಕ್ಸಿ ಗೈಸ್ TSG ಹೊಡೆದ್ರು. ಅದು 14 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್. ಬಟ್ ರ್ಯಾಶ್ 17 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ನಮ್ 4 ಜನ ಕನ್ನಡ ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ ಆಡ್ತಿರೋದು. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಗೈಸ್. FFMIC ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದ್ ಜನ ಡ್ರೀಮ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ. ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದ್ ಜನ ಬಂದು ಸಿಟಿ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈರ್ಸ್ ಆಡಿದ್ರು, ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಡಿದ್ರು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಟೀಮ್ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ 3 ಟೀಮ್ ಕುಂತಿದೆ ಗೈಸ್. 3 ಕನ್ನಡ ಟೀಮ್ಗಳು ಕುಂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಟೀಮ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು SMR, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟೀಮ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು SU, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ 2 ಮೇನ್ ಟೀಮ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆ ಆಡುವಂತ ಟೀಮ್ಗಳು ಈ ಒಂದು ಲೆವೆಲ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ನೋಡೋಣ ಗೈಸ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಅಂತ. ಹಂಗೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಗೇಮ್ 2 ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಪ್ಲೋಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಾಲೋವೇಟ್ರಿ ನಡೀತಿದೆ ಗೈಸ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು TSG ಅವ್ರು ಬುಯಾ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನೋಡೋಣ ಯಾರು. ಸೊ SMR ಕೂಡ ಬ್ರೆಜಿಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್ ಗೈಸ್, 5 ಟೀಮು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ ಗೈಸ್ ಬ್ರೆಜಿಲಾದಲ್ಲಿ. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಈ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಂತೂ. ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳೋದು ಗೈಸ್, ಒಂದೇ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ತರ ಇದೆ. ನೋಡೋಣ ಈ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಫೈಟ್ ನಡಿಬಹುದು ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮೈಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು. ಓಕೆ ಗೈಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ಆಕಾರ್ ಬ್ರೋ ಇದಾರೆ. ಇವರು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕನ್ನಡದವರು. ನಮ್ಮ ಆಕಾರ್ ಬ್ರೋ ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಕಾರು ಸಾಲ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರೋದು. ಸೊ ಗೈಸ್, ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಿರೋರು ಹಂಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ಗಳು ಹಾಕಿ, ಹೆಂಗ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡ ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಈ ತರ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ ಯಾರು ಆಡಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಟೂರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ FFMIC ನಡೆದಿರೋದು ಅದು ಇಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ನಮ್ಮೊಂದು SMR ಟೀಮು ಹೊಸ ಟೀಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲವರು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಟೀಮ್ ಹೆಸರು ಹೊಸದು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟರ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಹಳುಬ್ರು ವಿತ್ ಮಿಲಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟರ್ ಇರೋದಲ್ಲಿ. ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗಂಟ ಇವ್ರು ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬನ್ನಿ. Okay guys, match 2 start ಆಯ್ತು. We are waiting for the match 2 guys. ಹೆಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋಣ. match 2 it replays. ಸೊ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ತರ ಅವರು ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಳ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆನೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲ ಗೈಸ್, SMR ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೇಗ ಇಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ, ಬಟ್ TSGನೂ ಸೇಮ್ ಕಡೆ ಇಳ್ಕೊಂತಾರ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಇರೋದೇ 3 ಟೀಮ್ ಗೈಸ್ ನನ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಂಗೆ, CTZಗೆ, SMRಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ TSGಗೆ. ಬಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ 5 ಟೀಮು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬ್ರೆಜಿಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಳ್ದಿರೋದು ಗೈಸ್. 5 ಟೀಮು ಬ್ರೆಜಿಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಳ್ದಿರೋದು ಗೈಸ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜಾಗ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ರೋಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಿಲ್ಲ, ಮೋಟೋಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಿಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಕೈ ಲಾಡ್ಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಫುಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫುಲ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಫುಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಿಮಗ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಇವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ತರ ಎನಿಮಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಹಾಗೆ ನೋಡೋಣ ಗೈಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊನ್ನೆ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ತರ ಖಾತೆಗಳು ತಪ್ಪಿಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಹೋಗು SMR ಬಗ್ಗೆನೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಹೋಗಿ SMR ಬಗ್ಗೆನೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ SMR ಗೊತ್ತು, ಇಡೀ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಗೈಸ್. ಈಗ ಸೈಕ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಗೈಸ್, ಸೈಕ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಈಗ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಓಕೆ, SMR ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಒಂದು ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು. ಯಾರು ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ನೋಡೋಣ. ಈ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ SMRಗೆ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ವಿಚ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಆದ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಯರು ಸಾಕಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫೈಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು TSGಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ SMRಗೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ ಸ್ನೈಪರ್ ನುಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ರೈಟ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ನುಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಧ್ರುವ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಲಾಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು. ಒಬ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ. ಸೊ ಗೈಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ರು ಆಗ್ಲೇ 150 ಕೊಟ್ರು, ಇಬ್ರು 150 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ನುಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಲಿ. ಆಯುಷ್ ನುಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಒಂದ್ ಡೌನ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದ್ ಡೌನ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದ್ ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ ರಿವೈವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾನೆ, ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಹೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದು ಗೈಸ್. ಸೈಕ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಧ್ರುವನ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇಬ್ರು ಮುಗಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಗೈಸ್, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇರೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇರೋದು. DVG ಓಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅವ್ನು ಲೈಫ್ ನ ಸೇವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಕ್ಕೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಂಕೇತ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು TSG ಮೈಂಡ್ ಸೆಟ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ 2 ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು, 2 ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ ಒಂದೇ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಗೈಸ್, ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ SMR ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಜನ ಇರೋದು. ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಬಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಏನಾದ್ರು TSG ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ ಒಂದೇ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು SMRಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. SMR ವೈಪೌಟ್ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಇದೆ. ಸಂಕೇತ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಲೋ HP ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. SMR ಲೋ HP. ಸಂಕೇತ್ ಡೌನ್ ಗೈಸ್, ಸಂಕೇತ್ ಡೌನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು. ಅರುಣ್ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು. ಬಟ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಈಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಹೊಡ್ದಿದ್ದು ಗೈಸ್, DVG ನೋಡ್ದಿದ್ದು. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 1 ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ SMR. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 1 ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ SMR. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಒಬ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಎಸ್ ಗೈಸ್, ಒಬ್ಬಿಟ್ಟವನೇ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಿದೆ 3 ಜನನು ಇದ್ರ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 3 ರಿವೈಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು. ಸೈಕ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಒಬ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 3 ಜನನು ರಿವೈಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೈಕ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಗೈಸ್. 3 ಜವಾನು ಸೈಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಮಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಗೈಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಟೀಮ್ SMR ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಮಸ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಒಬಿಟೋ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಗೈಸ್ ಆಲೆ ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಟಾಪ್ 4 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಟೀಮ್ SMR. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಗೈಸ್ ಟಾಪ್ 6 ಯಾರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಆಲೆ ಟಾಪ್ 4 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಟಾಪ್ 4 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅನಿಮೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಗೈಸ್, ಇದು ಆರಾಮ್ಸಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬಹುದು. ಏನು ಈ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬಂತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೌಶಿಕ್ ಆಲ್ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ 3 ಟೀಮ್ ಬಂದಿರೋದಲ್ಲಿ IQ ಅರ್ಸ ಕೂಡ ಬಂದಿರೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆಯಿಂದ 3 ಟೀಮು. ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ನುಗ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ, ಮುಂದ್ಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ನುಗ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. CTZಗೆ ಇವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಕ್ರಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಈ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಎನಿಮಿ ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು RES ಅವರು ಯಾವ ತರ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ, ಒಬ್ರು ಮೇಲೆ ಇಬ್ರು ನುಗ್ಗಿರೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವನ್ನ ನಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ, ಫೈನ್. ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಇನ್ನು ಯಾವ್ದೇ ತರ ಒಂದು ಟೀಮ್ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ FLX ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಹುದು, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದಾರೆ. ಓ, ಕೊಟ್ರು ಸೈಕ್ ಅಂತ ಗೈಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ TC ನಿಂಜಾನ ಹೊಡೆದಿರೋದು. SMR ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಗೈಸ್. ಟೋಟಲ್ 3 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಯ್ತು. Open the chat for SMR guys. Open the chat for SMR. Oh, but ಸೊ ಗೈಸ್ ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಾಲ್ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು, ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ನೋಡೋಣ ಗೈಸ್, ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೋಡ್ತಾರ ತರ ಇದ್ರೆ
contesting Forge. He's a solo survivor.
ಓಕೆ. ಓ ಗೈಸ್, ಏನಿಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಥ್ರೂ ತಿರ್ಗ ಸೇಮೆ ಗೈಸ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಪಾಪ ಒಂದೇ ಟೀಮು ಗೈಸ್. SMR ಗೆ ಕಾಟ ಕೊಡ್ತಿರೋದು TSG ಗೈಸ್. SMR ಗೆ ಕಾಟ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು TSG ಗೈಸ್. ಬಟ್ IQ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಏನಾರು ಮಾಡಿ ಇವಾಗ ಯಾರದು ಥರ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಹೊಡಿತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು 3 ಜನ ರಿವೈವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾನೆ ತಿರ್ಗಾ. ವಿತ್ ಫಾಲ್ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. 22 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ SMR ಗೆ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ SMR ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ ಉಳಿದಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲಿ, ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ ಉಳಿದಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲಿ. ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ RSCS ಎಂತ ಒಂದು ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು. ಟಾಪ್ 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು. ಬಟ್ TSG ಟಾಪ್ 1 ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೇನೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೈಕ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್, ಯಾವ ತರ ಟೂರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ SMR. ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನಾಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ. ರಿವೈವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ SMR ಟೀಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ನ ಯಾವ್ದೇ ತರ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. 4 ಕಿಲ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬಂದಿರೋದು ವಿತ್ 22 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 4 ಕಿಲ್ 23 24 25 26 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಏನ್ ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದು ಗೈಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟಾಪ್ 2 ಟೀಮ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು ಸೈಕ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸೀದಾ ನುಗ್ಗೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದು ಗೈಸ್ ಕಾರಲ್ಲಿ. 10 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಂತ ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಗೈಸ್. ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಇವಾಗ RSCS. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಮುಖ ನೋಡಿ ಗೈಸ್, ಹೆಂಗಿದಾನೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಹುಡುಗ ತರ ಅವನೇ ಸೈಕ್.
Out of the 8, 7 is already in his pocket.
I take it back, Tafiq. I do not know whether you heard it or not.
CTZ ಅವ್ರು ನುಗ್ತವ್ರೆ ಬ್ರೆಜಿಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಯರ್ ಅವರೇ, ಸಿಫಿಸ್ಕೋ ಅವರೇ. ನೋಡೋಣ ಗೈಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ನನ್ಗೇನೋ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇವರು ನುಗ್ಗಿ ಹೊಡಿತವ್ರೆ. ಹೊಡಿತವ್ರೆ. ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ನೋಡಿ ನುಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ನುಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಗೈಸ್. ಕ್ರೇಜಿ. ಅವನು ಮೋರ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ನೋಡಿ. ಆಲೆ ಎರಡೇ ಟೀಮ್ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು. ಇವಾಗ ಟೀಮ್ SMR ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓಬಿಟೋನ ರಿವೈವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಗೈಸ್. DVC ಓಬಿಟೋನ ರಿವೈವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು. ಓಬಿಟೋ ಯಾವ ತರ ಗೆಲ್ಬೆ ತೋರಿಸಿರೋದು ನೋಡೋಣ. 10 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು RS ಇಂದ ಆಗಿದೆ. TSG ಇಂದ 6 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದು 6 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಪಾಪ SMR ಅವರು. ಸೊ ನೋಡೋಣ ಇವಾಗ SMR ಓಬಿಟೋ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಯಾವ ತರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫೈಟ್ ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು. RS ಮತ್ತೆ FFMIC ನುಗ್ತಾರ. ನೋಡೋಣ ಡೈಫಿ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಲೇ ನೌಕ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿನಿಶ್ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ ಗೈಸ್. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಸ್ನೈಪರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಉಳಿದಿರೋದು ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನೋಡೋದು ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಕ್ವಾಡ್ ಬರ್ತಿರೋದು. 4AM ಸ್ಕ್ವಾಡ್ ಬರ್ತಿರೋದು. 4AM ಕೂಡ ಸೈವೇಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ ಗೈಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಏನೋ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟೀಮು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ. RES ಮತ್ತೆ 3 ಟೀಮ್ ಇದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಟೀಮ್ ನ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ವೈಟ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಓಡೋದ್ರು. ಇವರಿಬ್ಬರನ್ನ ಕೋಚ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇವರಿಬ್ಬರನ್ನ ಸೇರಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓಡೋಗಿದ್ದು. ಬಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಗೈಸ್. ನಾನು ಹೊಡಿತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೊಡಿತಾ ಇರೋದು ಕೆಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಸೈಕ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ RES ಅವರು ಗಾಡಿ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸೀದಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಲೂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತವ್ರೆ. ನನಗಿದು ಬೇಡ ಗುರು, ನನಗೆ ಸವಾಸ ಬೇಡ ಗುರು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲೇ 13 ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಇನ್ನು 10 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು, ಇನ್ನು 10 ಟೀಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಇಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ರಿಸ್ಕಿ ಯಾಕೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅಂತ ಅವರು. ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು TSG ಇರೋ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆನೂ ಇದಾರೆ SMR. ಬಟ್ 4 ಜನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದ ಗೈಸ್. 4 ಜನ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮ್. ಟೀಮ್ SMR ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಗೈಸ್. ಸೈಕ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೈಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಟೀಮ್ SMR ಅವರು 4 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಏನಾದ್ರೂ TSG ನ SMR ಓಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು SMR ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಬರ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಏನಾದ್ರು SMR ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು TSG ನೋಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಫಾರ್ ಶೋರ್ SMR Booyah ಹೊಡೆಯೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ 99% ಇದೆ. ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬಫರ್ ಬರ್ತೈತೆ. ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್ ಗೈಸ್. ಓಕೆ ಬಂತು ಬಂತು. ಓಕೆ ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬಂತು.
I don't know whether they're using some kind of a jutsu, which is a shadow clone jutsu, because they're everywhere. Seeing where the opponents are rushing towards. It's the same thing with IQOG XTSG as well. They're everywhere basically. They have those glue walls, and those glue walls say just do one thing. It's our logo. Nobody can mess with us. The previous game
crazy guys. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಬಹುದು ನೀವು ಏನು ಸೈಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಅಂತ.
Even if he takes some shots, it's okay. The resurrection will come soon, but Team Resurrection has been uprooted from Purgatory. So that's how Purgatory purges certain teams if you make heavy mistakes.
Lubzz bully, especially he comes in and does a 1v3 against Lubzz.
Hey guys, crazy crazy ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಹೊಡೆದಿರೋದು. ಒಬ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕಿಲ್ಲು ಕೂಡ ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದು. 5 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ 6 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಗೈಸ್. ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಗೈಸ್. ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. 6 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದು. ಒಬ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ನೋಡ್ತಿರೋದು. ಏಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಕ್ಲಾಶ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನಾಯ್ತು. ಕಿಲ್ಲು ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು. 7 ಕಿಲ್ಲು ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಗೈಸ್. SMR ಏಮ್ ಟೀಮ್ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು. SMR 7 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್. ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಕೂಡ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. TSG ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಗೈಸ್. ನನ್ನ ಕೆಲವರೆ TSG ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಅವ್ರು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ನೋಡೋಣ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಟೀಮ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡಿ. ಬಟ್ ಈ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ TSG ಏನಾದ್ರು ಹೋದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ SMR ಗೆ 99% ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಆದ್ರೆ 29 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ನೋಡೋಣ ಗೈಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. SMR ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ತಿರ್ಗಾ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ SMR ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಯಾಕೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಗೈಸ್? ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಸೇಮ್ ಯಾಕೆ? ಸಂಕೇತ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್. ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನ. ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್ ಗೈಸ್. ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಫುಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಫುಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಓ ಗಾಡ್ ಗೈಸ್. ತಿರ್ಗಾ SMR ಸೇಮ್ ಗೈಸ್ ಬಂದು ಅವ್ರ ಅರ್ಥನೇ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ. ಏನಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಇವ್ರಿಗೂ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. SMR ಗೆ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಖಾತೆ ಇದೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ SMR ಗೂ ಇವ್ರಿಗೂ ತುಂಬಾ ಕ್ಲಾಶಸ್ ಗಳಾಗಿದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಡ್ಬೇಕಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಿ ಕ್ಲಾಶ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಈ ತರ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಪಾಪ ಧ್ರುವ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಈ ತರ ಆದ್ರೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಗೈಸ್. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಧ್ರುವ. ಈಗ ಇನ್ನ 5 ಟೀಮ್ಗಳು ಉಳಿದಿದೆ ಗೈಸ್. SMR ಕೂಡ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾವ್ ನೋಡಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
Clogs up
ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ
17 are the
elimination ಇಲ್ಲ
two
ಇನ್ನು
top
4
contenders
ಟೀಮ್ ಐತೆ
for the
ತಿರ್ಗಾ
Booyah in this
TSG
game.
ಹೊಡೆದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ
Yeah, the top four. Ikuoji
ಕ್ರೇಜಿ
XPSC
ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ
decided
ನಿಜ
to
ಅಲ್ಲ
keep chaos
ಕ್ರೇಜಿ
there in the
ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ
mix.
ತಿರ್ಗಾ
Getting
ಏನಾದ್ರು ಹೊಡೆದ್ರೆ
Lubzz
ಕ್ರೇಜಿನೇ
Esports
ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಬಟ್
alongside
ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಸೇಮ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್
Team
ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು
Skylord.
ನಮ್ಮ
It's
SMR
all
ಟೀಮು
really good, but if
ಬಟ್
the
ಪ್ರಿಸರ್ವ್
giant Jenga works, Arjun can have a really good time.
ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್
This
ಆಗ್ತೈತು
angle
ನೋಡೋಣ
walk, you can
ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ
see
ಅಂತ
it nonetheless. He's just going to capitalize it to perfection. There you go. Spots where the opponents are. And they have the
ಸೊ
upper
ಏನ್
hand
ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ
with
ಗೈಸ್
50
12
outside the
ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್
circle.
ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದು
So
ಇಲ್ಲಿ
they
ಇವಾಗ
need to head towards and they're
12
using
ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್
a launch
ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದು
pad to do
ಲಾಂಚ್
this.
ಪ್ಯಾಡ್
All
ತಗೊಂಡು
right.
ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಲಾಂಚ್ ಪ್ಯಾಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಟಿ ಸೈಡ್ ಗೆ ಕವರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಓ ಮೂರು
Clogs
ಲೈನ್
try to
ಮ್ಯಾನ್
get closer.
ಮೂರು
There's
ಲೈನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೈಸ್
eliminations and they
ಮೂರು
can
ಲೈನ್
already
ಮ್ಯಾನ್
smell
ಇಟ್ಟಿರೋದು
some blood.
ಮೂರು ಲೈನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್
We see
ಇಟ್ಟಿರೋದು
Shubo showing his back. Now is
ಓ
the time to
ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು
strike.
ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್
Oh,
ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಒಬ್ಬ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ನುಗ್ತಿರೋದು
right to a bit of a
ಅರ್ಜುನ್
damage.
ಮುಂದ್ಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಕವರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಗೈಸ್ ಏನ್ ಕಿಲ್ ಎತ್ತುತ್ತಾರ ಕಿಲ್ ಎತ್ತಿದ್ದು ಟ್ರಿಪಲ್ ಕಿಲ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ
Another squad altogether.
ಓ ಗೈಸ್
Can take advantage,
ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ
but
ಡಬ್ಲ್ಯೂ ಆರ್
OGXDSG,
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಮ್ಯಾನ್
they've got
ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ
crossfire. They know to come in from different angles, but still have each other's back. As Christian are used, they're trying to do their best. They've got
ಈ
information.
ಕಡೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು
Clogs up.
ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು
Now
ಟಿ ಸಿ
they
ನಿಂಜಾ
find
ಅವರು
the corner.
ಬಂದಿರೋದು ಈ ಕಡೆ
Let's see.
ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ GTZ
It's always going to be orangutans.
ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಆಳೆ ನಿಂಜಾ ನೋವು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಕಡೆ ಹೊಡಿತಾರೆ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನಿನ ಮುಗಿತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಇವಾಗ ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ TSG ಒಬ್ಬ ನಾಕ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದವನು ರಿವೇ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಬಟ್ ಯಾವ್ದೇ ತರ ಪೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಸೈಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಇವ್ರು ಇವಾಗ ಪೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದು ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಮೂರು ಟೀಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ TSG ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ವಿಚ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ CTZ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ವಿಚ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಸ್ಕೈ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ವಿಚ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ ತರ ನುಗ್ಗಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಯಾವ ಟೀಮ್ ಗೆಲ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಗೈಸ್
Not going to help out as TSG. They're forming a single back.
ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್ ಮನೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹತ್ತುತ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಮನೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹತ್ತುತ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ತಗೋ ಸ್ನೈಪರ್ ಮನೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹತ್ತಿದ್ದು ಇಬ್ರು ಮನೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹತ್ತಿದ್ದು ಗೈಸ್ ಇದು ಪಕ್ಕ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಓ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ಮುಗಿತು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಪಕ್ಕ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇವಾಗ ಇರೋದು ಫಾರ್ 200% it will be for ಗೈಸ್ TS ಇದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಬಿಡಿ ಗೈಸ್ ಫಾರ್ 200% TS ಇದೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮೂರು ಜನನು ಹತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಯಾವುದೇ ತರ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ WR ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಟ್ ಇವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್ ನುಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು TSG ಅಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ TSG ನೇ ಗೈಸ್ 100% TSG ನೇ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಹೊಡಿಯೋದು 100% ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ TSG ನೇ ಹೊಡಿಯೋದು ನೋಡಿ ಹೆಡ್ ಶಾಟ್ ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದು ಗೈಸ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಹೊಡೆದಿರೋ ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್ 6 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿತ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ Booyah ಗೈಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಕೂಡ Booyah ಹೊಡೆದಿರೋದು ನಮ್ಮ TSG 22 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಅರ್ಧ ಲಾಬಿ ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಗೈಸ್ TSG ಅವರು ಅರ್ಧ ಲಾಬಿ ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ
Orangutans have come out supreme yet again. 22 elimination points with 12 placement points. 34 in this game, and they make it to the 50s already in just 2 games. Somebody stop this team before they qualify, even before the third game, or probably even before the end of the third game.
Oh yeah, there you go. This is how the entire cookie crumbled. Ikuoji XPSG, couple of players on top. Look at the way Ronit is using his card to perfection, and the other two, they were swarming the opponents. They went outside the circle, they took the fight, and Ayu, she was so sneaky peeky. His spidey sense tinkled, and he just knew where the opponents are going to head towards, and he just took a very clean shot with Zen 590. But this time around, it is Arjun getting the MVP title as he has performed amazing. Morse, yes, many snipers have adapted to this situation overall, and I do like the combination.
crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. The new default, but add one for the information, and that's why he's got 6,668 damage. My goodness, this man, he's got 30 knocks in that way. He's got 8 eliminations with 6 assists. No wonder he's the MVP. I thought Sniper's paradise for Arjun. It was spaghetti.
ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಆಗಿ ಆಡಿರೋದು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅವರಂತ
Arjun
sexy MVP ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು
lovely damages. 666 El Diablo, yes sir, alongside 6
ಎಂಟು
assists.
ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್
There's a lot of
ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು
sixes
guys.
right in front of us, and this dude has played it
600
so
6668
see the denominators being
ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಇವರು
so
ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು
many times,
ಸ್ನೈಪರು.
3 times nonetheless in the
ಓಕೆ
game.
ಇವ್ರ
Even
ಸ್ಕಿಲ್
though
ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು
are
ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
exactly not
ಮೋಕೋ
like
ಮಾರೋ
pinpointing the
ರೈಫಲ್
location, but the exact number of how many people are there towards
ಸೈಕ್
that
ಸೈಕ್
area.
ಸೈಕ್
Game
ಸೈಕ್
information
ಅಂತಾನೆ
has
ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು.
helped Arjun a lot. Marco, Moko, and we all know Raphael. Once you knock a player down, he bleeds pretty quick, and that's the composition
ಓಕೆ
you
ಟೀಮ್
need
ಎಸ್
to
ಎಂ
use
ಆರ್
that
ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು
right?
ವಿತ್
IQOG XTG
ಈ
yet
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
again
ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಗೇಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್.
top.
ಓಕೆ ಗೇಮ್
But
ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಈ
listen,
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
there's
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
no one to
ಟಾಪ್
overshadow their
5
performance.
12 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ 5
Absolutely.
ಕಿಲ್ಸ್
Team SMR
5
being consistent,
ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್
keeping the
ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್
team
ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್.
chaos, follows
ಹಂಗಾರೆ
up
ಈ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
closely.
12
They've
ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್
got
ಬಂತು.
4
ಇನ್ನ
team
ಟಾಪ್
for
5
themselves.
ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓವರ್ ಆಲ್
Resurrection,
ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಏನಂತ
another
ನೋಡೋಣ.
15-pointer.
ಗೇಮ್ 2
And that means teams
ಇನ್ನ
like
ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು
Esports,
ಯಾವ ತರ
Lubzz
ಆಗುತ್ತೆ
Esports,
ಅಂತ. ಟೀಮ್ ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಅವರು 12 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್
Rakers especially, these are the teams who need to wake up, because by the next
ಈ
game
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
you're
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
going to be
ಎಂತ
done with
ಒಂದು
half your
ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್
games.
ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದು
Oh, yeah.
TSG.
I mean, this
ಎಂತ
is
ಒಂದು ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್
lovely numbers
ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದು
coming in, but
TSG.
there's only double digit till Skylord Esports. That's it.
ಹೌದು
Last
ಬ್ರೋ,
time it
ನಾಯಕ್
was
ಬ್ರೋ.
all
ಎಸ್
the
ಎಂ
way
ಆರ್
towards
ಅಂತಾನೆ
the
ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು.
8th or
ಎಸ್
7th
ಎಂ
spot.
ಆರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ
This
ಕ್ರೇಜಿ
time
ಗೈಸ್.
it's
ಇಲ್ಲಿ
all
ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು
about
ನೀವು.
number games, which is just snatched away. The opportunity seized. And in order to be there, active, and get those eliminations, you got to give your 100%. These are the 5.
ಸೊ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು
That's how
ಟೀಮ್
the
ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು
entire
ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಆರ್
place was looking
12
towards
ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್
quiet,
ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರು.
quietly heading
ಈ
all the
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
way
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
towards the top of
ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ
the map,
ಗೈಸ್.
and they're calling
ಟೋಟಲ್
it
ಆಗಿ
win.
7 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್
Congratulations
ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
to
ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಏನ್
Rakers.
ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ.
Well, I did
ಕಂಪೇರ್
see
ಮಾಡ್ದಂಗೆನೆ
Team
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್
having
2
a
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
very
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
nice spot
ಇವಾಗ
right now. Say could not
99%
capitalize. I could see Ninja
ಗೆಲ್ಲೋಕೆ
dive
ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್
spot where he could
ತುಂಬಾನೇ
see
ಇದೆ.
so many opponents. He
ನೋಡೋಣ
got
ಗೈಸ್
knocked,
ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ
but
ಅಂತ.
not the confirmation. So he
ಗೇಮ್
needs,
2
he
ಗೇಮ್
definitely
3
needs
ನೋಡೋಣ.
yet another
ಗೇಮ್ 3
sniper in the
ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ
team.
ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು
No, this was
ವಿಲ್
the point,
ಡಿಸೈಡ್
right?
ಗೈಸ್. ಇನ್ನ
Team Chaos
4
prioritizing center of
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
the
ಇದೆ
circle,
ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ.
probably
ಹೌದು, ನಿನ್ನ
pounce upon
4
the
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
weak
ಇದೆ
links,
ಗೈಸ್.
but for some
ಇನ್ನ
reason
4
they
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
just came
ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ
back,
ಅಂತ
and that is
ನೋಡೋಣ.
where OG just changed their position. Welcome
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
them in
ಗಂಟ
that
ಅವ್ರು
open
ಕೊಡೋ
spot and
ಕಮೆಂಟ್ರಿನ
defended them
ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ.
off. Probably the IHL will be learning this lesson a hard way, and next time we can see them perform well. But look at that clutcher. Every single circle they were involved in a fight, but it's just that they were not prepared for the OGs.
Circle number 3, I do understand IQOG, XTAG, they were just rotating in, they were just seeing where the opponents are heading towards. That was the only quiet section or the segment. But other than that, they had some really good time. IQOG, XTSG, 2 games and 62 total points with 2 Booyahs on their name. So I believe the record of having 3 Booyahs in a single day.
ಓಕೆ ಟೀಮ್ ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಆರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಟಾಪ್ 5 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
But with this, ladies and gentlemen, we see the overall standing where
ಟೀಮ್
OG
ಎಸ್ ಎಂ
XTSG
ಆರ್
on the top
30
with
ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್,
62 points.
ಟೀಮ್
In
ಟಿ ಎಸ್ ಜಿ
Esports,
62
quickly,
ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್
Clutcher
ಆಫ್
42,
ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
and then
ಈ
we have
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
Resurrection
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
35. All
ಟಿ
these
ಎಸ್ ಜಿ
teams we
ಹೋಗಿ
have been
ಎಸ್ ಎಂ
expected to
ಆರ್
do well are
22
actually doing
ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್
it.
ಪ್ಲಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು
Rakers,
ಬಂದ್ರು
even though
ಅಂದ್ರೆ
they did not play well in the
ದೇ
previous
ವಿಲ್
game,
ಬಿ
the
ಟಾಪ್
first
1
game's
ಗೈಸ್
advantage
ಅಂತಾನೆ
is
ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು.
still
ನೋಡೋಣ
there in their hands.
ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ.
Team SMR 30, but the bottom of the table is where Intense and Flawless will have to come up with a booyah.
They haven't quite yet understood the assignment, right, Arka? They haven't
Yeah.
understood the assignment. It's problems paradise for them, and soon they have to get out of it. Because if they're going to stay there, then you know what's going to happen. You're not going to qualify, and if you do
Yes.
not qualify, you're not going to see the group stage. Because top 6 teams are heading towards the group stage. Talking about the top 3, right? These are my predictions. IQOG, XTSG. There's even Resurrection. There's even
Yeah.
Lubzz Esports because of their performance day in, day
Yeah.
out. From your end, I can see Team Resurrection alongside Rakers and IQOG XTSG.
Yeah, because I'm just relying on those who can actually pull off that 4v4. These are the most
Okay.
aggressive teams in the lobby. If given a chance, a little bit of confidence you add in their pocket, and all they're going to do is become the dynamite of the lobby. So ultimately, that's why I go with them, because the third game is where most of the teams risk it all. They're like, probably this is the only place we can do it, because obviously it's the map of Bermuda.
You have to be a
ಓ
dynamite,
ಗೈಸ್
absolutely
ಬರ್ಮುಡಾ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್
become
ಇರೋದು
RDX
ದ
in the previous,
ಮೋಸ್ಟ್
group
ಕ್ರೇಜಿಯಸ್ಟ್
itself
ಮ್ಯಾಪ್
and
ಅಂತ
showcase how
ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು.
well you can perform. Next game is in Bermuda, and we all know it's a
ಫಸ್ಟ್
Bermuda map.
2 ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಟಿ
Things
ಎಸ್
can
ಜಿ
go
ಹೊಡೆದಿರೋದು
south
ಗೈಸ್.
any moment
ಫಸ್ಟ್
because
2
all of
ಮ್ಯಾಪ್
these
ಟಿ
teams have
ಎಸ್ ಜಿ
performed
ಹೊಡೆದಿರೋದು
really
ಭೂಯ.
in this
ಮೂರನೇ
match.
ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ
Sometimes
ಎಸ್
it's
ಎಂ ಆರ್
accepted.
ಹೊಡಿತಾರ
It's
ನೋಡ.
their home ground, and nobody would want to go away from the home ground without scoring any points. So would love to see the pairs whether they can do something or not, but there's every direction I see a drop clash. Pochinok, yes. Sentosa, yes. Hangar, yes. Observatory, absolutely yes. Rimnam village is the only spot where I can see Resurrection is like, you know what, we're away from all of these. No shenanigans whatsoever. Starting battles, who even takes that? We're going to do it later on.
For Team SMR, right now they've changed their drop spot. Suddenly they step away from OGs because obviously the first two games has been a lot of difference when it comes to the talent between the teams. Or probably it's the pressure, right? We have seen that the underdogs for the first time they qualify, they come in, they come in from the city qualifiers where they kind of dominate, and all of a sudden they see a T1 team. If they can take them down, the story can be different.
Well, if you take down the tier 1 team, specifically IQ, OGX, TSG, what my friend is trying to say, that's when you can at least get some elimination
ಓಕೆ
points.
ಗೈಸ್
And
ಇಲ್ಲಿ
let's
ನೋಡೋಣ
hope Booyah
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
let you
ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್
out of that.
ಆಗಿರೋದು
But we're
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
gonna
ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್
head all the
ಆಗಿರೋದು
way
ಗೈಸ್ ಇವಾಗ
towards
ನೋಡೋಣ
Bermuda, the
ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ
mid-range sandbox where things are gonna go haywire at any given moment. Because the arsenals, once you open them or breach them, you get some really good weapons, and from there on, things are gonna go even more south. This is a lovely flight path all the way from Rimnam village. If Resurrection wants to drop down towards Rimnam village, it's just going to be a 1-second chore, and the others who want to head all the way towards
ನೋಡೋಣ
they'll
ಎಸ್
go ahead
ಎಂ
and do it.
ಆರ್
There's
ಎಲ್ಲಿ
also a
ಇಳಿತಾರ
good mid
ಹೌದು
map, so head towards one
ಡ್ರಾಪ್
of these
ನನಗೆ
spots, get
ಗೊತ್ತು
your loot, and then take in an
ನೋಡೋಣ
awesome
ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇಳ್ಕೋತಾರೆ ಅಂತ
Look at
ಐ
Pochinok,
ಥಿಂಕ್
look at Rimnam village. Already we can see a lot of action
ಇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು
take place.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಆರ್ ಎಸ್ ಆಲೆ ಓಡ್ತಿರೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲೆ ಎಲ್ರು ನಾಕ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಗೈಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎಸ್ ಎಲ್ರು ನಾಕ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಏನೋ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಏನೋ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ ನೋಡೋಣ ಈಗ ಏನೋ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ ಗೈಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋಣ ಬಟ್ 4 ಜನ ರಿವೇ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಂಗ ಪಟ್ಟಣ ಇಬ್ರು ಹೋದ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಆರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಬ್ರು ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು 3 ಜನ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಬ್ರು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಬ್ರೇ ಇರೋದು ಗೈಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಬ್ರೇ ಇರೋದು ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಆರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಬ್ರೇ ಇರೋದು ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಆರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಬ್ರೇ ಇರೋದು ಗಾಯ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಈಗ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಎರಡು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕು ಇದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಟೀಮ್ ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಆರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಬಟ್ ನಾಳೆ ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಆರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ರು ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಆರ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಆರ್ ಸಂಕೇತ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಒಬ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಬ್ನೇ ಇರೋದು ಒಬ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಬ್ನೇ ಇರೋದು ಗೈಸ್ ನೋಡೋಣ ಒಬ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಬ್ನೇ ಇರೋದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ಓ ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಆರ್ 4 ಜನ ರಿವೇ ಆಗಿದೆ ಗೈಸ್ 4 ಜನ ರಿವೇ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ಇವಾಗ ಟಿ ಎಸ್ ಜಿ ಅವರು ನುಗ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಪಿಕ್ಗೆ ಬಟ್ ಪಿಕಲ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಎನಿಮೀಸ್ ಇದಾರೆ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 62 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂತ ಟೀಮ್ ಎಸ್ ಜಿ ಅವ್ರ ಕಂಪೇರಿಬಲ್ ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 50 ಕೂಡ ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ 42 ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡುವ ಗೈಸ್ ನೋಡುವ ಟೀಮ್ ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಆರ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ ಅಂತ
and I'm hoping that he's prepared for this as Kid is way too far. They need to band together.
ಓ ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಟಿ ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಟಿ ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಇಬ್ರು ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಧ್ರುವ ಒಬ್ಬನ್ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಬಟ್ ಧ್ರುವನ ಒಬ್ಬ ನೋಡ್ದಿರೋದು ಧ್ರುವ ಕೂಡ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಇರೋದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಇರೋದು ಟೀಮ್ ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಆರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಇರೋದು ಸೊ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ ಎಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಬ್ಬರೇ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಇರೋದು ಬಟ್ ಈ ಒಂದು ಟೀಮ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಓಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಕಡೆ 3 ಜನ ನುಗ್ತಿರೋದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ ಗೋಡಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ನುಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು 4 ಜನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೌನ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ 3 ಜನ ಕೊಡಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಆರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಆರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇರೋದು ಯಾವ್ದಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೀಮ್ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್
Look at the way Ronald is heading all the way towards the top. He saw 4am, calling the rotation with the launch pad, and he's already there taking the frag against Gyro, and there you go, the confirmation. He's still alive.
ರಿವೇ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾನ ನೋಡೋಣ.
Oh, I don't know, man, but this man is turning out to be a menace in this lobby. He falls back for his teammates to come in and put up a deadlock out here.
ಓ ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಬಹುದು ಬಟ್ ಅವನು ಸಿಗಾಕೊಂಡ ಬಿಡಿ ಗೈಸ್
he puts a lot of damage against him but with the melee puts him down a bit and with that ladies and gentlemen another elimination goes through into the hands of OGSSG.
You take them down, you get the eliminations. It's as simple as
ಒಂದು
that. But
ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್
nobody
ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡು
is
ನುಗ್ತಾ
contesting
ಇರೋದು,
against them.
ಗಾಡಿ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನುಗ್ದ.
The only way to do it is third party. Finally, flawless esports. They have a good
ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
start.
ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬಹುದು
They're taking
ರಿವೇ
down the members
ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ
of
ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ.
Skylord. Calling in the rotation. They have the car as well. Easily heading off
4
the
ಜನರ
way
ರಿವೇ
towards the
ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು
supporters.
ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು
Going
ಇದೊಂದು
to be
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
pretty simple
ಆರಾಮ್ಸೆ
for them.
ಗಾಡಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಟೀಮ್
Not that
ಟೀಮ್
easy, right?
SMR
You
ಒಂದು
need to
ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು
understand where
31
the
ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್
opponents are
ಬಂದಿದೆ ಟೋಟಲ್
rotating
ಆಗಿ.
towards. Do
ಬಟ್
not
ಇದೊಂದು
miss.
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
Gotta
ಏನಾದ್ರು
use
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ
that.
ಆಡಿದ್ರು
Clutch
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟೀಮ್
Esports,
SMR
they're taking a fight against Esports. Sadist, he's running
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
away.
3
He's
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
not
ಮಿನಿಮಮ್
all
ಒಂದು 10
optimistic
ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್
about the
ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಂದ್ರು
situation.
ಈಸಿ
And
ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈ
sure,
ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು.
but
ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ
still
ಇವಾಗ
if
ಟಾಪ್
Steed is
5 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
alive, still
ಸೊ
kicking,
ವಿತ್
and
32
Sadist, he's
ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್
gonna run
ಇಟ್ಟಿರೋದು
away.
ಇವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು
One
ಟಾಪ್
time,
4 ಏನು
I don't
ಕಮ್ಮಿ
think
ಇಲ್ಲ.
so he can fight
ಅಂಡ್
anymore.
ಟಾಪ್
Two members
3ಗೂ
lost in
ಆರಾಮ್ಸೆ
blue,
ಬರ್ಬೋದು
and the blue wall
ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ.
is not
ಟಾಪ್
gonna
1
help him
ಟಾಪ್
a
2
lot.
ಆರಾಮ್ಸೆ
There you
ಬರೋದು.
go.
ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇವ್ರು
Shub
18
taking
12 ಆ
some
ಥರ
really
ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್
clean
ಗಳಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ.
shots for the
ಇವ್ರದಿರೋದು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು
ECA
34
players.
ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ.
Feeling
ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ
himself
ಆಡ್ಬೋದು
going
ಅಂತ
for yet
ಮೈ
another
ಕೈಂಡ್
fight.
ಆಫ್
Bullseye is completely contested.
ಒಂದು ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
One corner of the circle being graced, ladies and gentlemen, by Lubzz.
ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆರಿದ್ದು ಎನಿಮಿ ಅರ್ಥ
There was a bit of a fight which took place, and suddenly Team SMR
ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆರಿದ್ದು. ಬಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರ ತತ್ತಿರೋದು ಗೈಸ್. ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್, ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ವಿಚ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸತ್ತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋದ ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಹೋದ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಇದು IQ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ ಇರೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಂಚರ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ನುಗ್ಗಿರೋದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡೆಗೆ.
right in front of their eyes, but will they dare to fire against them?
If they give away their location,
ಓ ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ ಗೈಸ್, ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು IQ ಅಯಾನು.
checking those corners,
CTZ ನೋಡಿರೋದು ಅಯಾನ.
or two, but unfortunately he's the one
ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ.
he instantly goes in hiding. Still
SMR ಹತ್ರ ಯಾರು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ guys.
Smart as always. This is the replay. Saksham right in front could not do much. Esports, that's a very sad start for them. And Bablu did try his level best, and this Sadist thought that he was playing it smart by putting a
ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್
grenade in front
ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು
of
ಗೈಸ್
the
ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
window.
ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು.
Fortunately, the window of opportunity was given to Team Clutz.
3 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಟೀಮ್ SMR. ತಿರ್ಗಾ IQ ಅಯಾನ ರಿವೈವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದಲ್ಲಿ.
Losing a player, Bully.
TSG IQ ಅಯಾನ ರಿವೈವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು. ಇವಾಗ ಬುಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ರಿವೈವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಏನ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಶಾಟ್ ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದು ಗೈಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಏನ್ ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದು ಗೈಸ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಶಾಟ್. ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಎಂತ ಒಂದು ಹೆಡ್ ಶಾಟ್ ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದು ಗೈಸ್.
Will eventually bleed out. At 4 a.m. You're trying to run away. Kid says, no, I'm not going to let you breathe, as Parth will have to retaliate. But again, shows his back in the open, gets another shot connected. But from an off angle, another player is already starting to pepper him down. Parth start to fight back, or probably this could be the beginning of you, my friend, because he's got that M90, jumps and connects. Gets that confirmation as well as Parth 7 needs to head back to the lobby.
This is a complete different look of Kid. He is confident. He's running around rampant since game number 1. Even though he was isolated in majority of the fights, he did not lose his confidence. And that's the kind of rusher you need, who has the can-do attitude. Kid, he has it. Abhinav, not at all a good sight for him, as Resurrection right in front of him, bouncing, taking him down. Those fights are going to cost a lot, and he yet again needs to reset, getting good weapons. If it's going to be a cheap buy from the vending machine, then no weapons for you, my dear friend. If it's an expensive buy, it's a super revival, then at least you're going to get a weapon or two. But in all of that, right, you got to call in a very good rotation. Bullseye, even though it's inside the circle, Clutch Esports,
ಟಾಪ್ 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋರ್ಗು ಟಾಪ್ 5 ಇರೋರ್ಗು ಫೈಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ. ಹೌದು ಗೈಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
that's really good for them. It's a
ಇದ್ದಾರೆ
very
ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
nice start, heading
ಸೀದಾ
all the way
ನುಗ್ತಾರೆ
towards
ಸೀದಾ
SMR. I would love
ನುಗ್ತಾರದು.
to see that.
SMR
Rackers,
ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ
they're
ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು
racking
ಇವಾಗ.
up even more points.
SMR ಟೀಮ್
Coach,
ಅಂತ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ
they are my
ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು.
friend, but again, as we saw,
SMR ಟೀಮ್ ಅಂತ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ CTZ ಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್.
team map with a lot of hard compounds, but will they have enough inside the final few circles? We've always seen this pattern take place. Lubzz realized that Team SMR is close by. Claus already sees it with the woodpecker aimed up. If somebody peeks out, a shot is gonna land. Claus says it's better we fall back and wait for the next circle.
Taking things way too slow. Graveyard Well, it's a lovely spot where Team Chaos, they themselves want to dig their own grave. But how
Oh,
fancy is that
DC
grave is the
खराब
question.
होगी तो.
They've already caught a compound, which is really good, and they have a recall tower as well. But they need to be super aware that if someone shoots them from the back or even one of the members is gone, then they have no vending machine whatsoever. So play it smart. It's as simple as that. PSG, well, they're close.
Oh,
Pretty
तिरगा
close. Plantation, one of the spots where even
guys.
this
तिरगा ते
flawless
जागले से
esports,
मारता पड़ता है इधर
flawless
उन्होंने.
esports, whether they'll be
तिरगा इससे
defeated or
मारा
they
तने
might
पड़ता
shut down
उन्होंने
such
TSG
a
वन बटे वाला
gigantic
तिरगा.
team. Let's
नोड़ा
see
ना
that
guys
victory.
ये नाक बोलूं तो क्या करना है तो जर्ज
It's not
मारा
going to be
करना
easy.
है.
You need to
Second
strike
match
hard
खुड़ा.
and you need to strike
ये
first.
ना
Ronet
TSG वो
already
ऐसे
knows that
मार
there's
के
a team
तो
pushing in. He
कौन
calls in Ayush.
और
And
उल्टी
Ayush
दादर
says,
ना
I'm
फर्स्ट
just right
मैच
behind you. Go ahead.
और
Ronet
तो
connects
TSG
some
ने
shots
ऐसे
out there.
मार के
Russia
ऐसे
required
मार के
are in
कंपटीशन
deep troubles.
ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು
And
ಒಂದೇ
suddenly they use a launcher to just run away from this position. But the
ऐसे
sniper
मार के ಒಂದು
has no
ತರ
idea.
ಕೊಡ್ತಾ
As
ಇರೋ ಒಂದು
Ronet
ಇದು
says,
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು
probably they're trying to
TSG
evade from this fight. Now he knows they're
TSG
flying.
mistake.
ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ
That's
ಎಸ್ಎಂ
a huge
ಒಂದು
mistake.
ದೊಡ್ಡ ಇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಬಟ್
Russia won. He
ಇದು
wanted
ನೋಡ್ತಾ
to run
ಇರಬಹುದು
away
ಎಂತ
from
ಒಂದು
there. There was
ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್
a
ಮಾಡಿದೆ
launch pad, but
ಫೆಲಿಕ್ಸ್.
unfortunately he landed right in front, just 1 meter away from the launch pad, and there you go, the elimination point secured. IQOG XTSG, they are super confident and now heading all the way inside the circle from Plantation, knowing that there's no one on their backs. This is the most satisfying
ಓ
feeling that
ಗೈಸ್
you can
ಇಲ್ಲಿ
get in
ಮೂರು
Free
ಟೀಮ್
Fire
ಇರೋದು
Max.
ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಹೋಗೋದು
Absolutely. You
ಎನಿಮಿ
take down a
ಲೆಫ್ಟ್
team
ಗೋ
and you
ಥ್ರೂ
also get a
ಎನಿಮಿ
free
ರೈಟ್
launcher to
ಗೋ
fly
ಥ್ರೂ
in, right?
ಎನಿಮಿ.
What else do you need? And they make it to the
Oh
corner
my
of the circle
god
where
guys,
nobody's gonna
oh my
backstab them.
god, ಎಂತ
But
ಒಂದು
Lubzz,
ಜಾಗ ಗ್ರೇವ್
look
ಹೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ
at this.
ಇವಾಗ.
For the first time I see no
ಮೂರು
team has
ಮೂರು
got a double
ಟೀಮ್
digit.
ಇರೋದು guys.
Every other team
ಮೂರು
is
ಟೀಮ್
fighting it
ಇರೋದು.
out. Everybody have got a single digit elimination.
CTZ
Let it
ಅಂತ
be the
ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು.
bottom
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
team till the top
TSG
one.
ಬರ್ತಾ
At
ಇರೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ
least
TSG
one
ಕೂಡ
by
ಎಂಟ್ರ್
every team out
ಆಗ್ತಾ
there.
ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು
Yes.
ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ.
But I would love to see the tangent that this team is going to create. Kaushik, the veteran, he has returned from retirement. So that's a huge statement right there. He's like the Thanos, right? Fine, let me do it. Gets hold of the gauntlet and instantly goes for the snap. So let me see how well Team Klutza is going to perform here, as they've already gotten really good elimination points, but it's the Booyah that they're aiming for. Each and every team eyes on the 12 point, but there's one person who had the eyes on the vending machine, but Resurrection said, no, not today.
That's ours for the taking. 12 eliminations. Slowly, Dafi is taking a step back and allowing his teammates to pick up some eliminations. This time around, he sees that player, he pushes in, gets that shot,
ಎರಡು ಟೀಮ್
gets the
ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು ಬಟ್
confirmation
ಇಲ್ಲ
as well. 13
guys.
eliminations. They've got a launcher right next to them, but rather they say, let's wait it out. They need to look at
32
the sky because
ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್
somebody is
ಆಗಿರೋದು.
sneaking in closer to get
32.
a revival.
Oh yeah. Flawless
ನಾನು
esports.
ಏನೇನೋ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಜೋಶಲ್ಲಿ.
They're falling from the sky. I
32
hope they do
elimination
not
ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ
become
guys.
yet another elimination point.
ನನ್ನ ಕಲವೇ ಇದೆ.
Ayush keeping tabs on where the
Why,
opponents are,
why,
constantly
ಏನಾಯ್ತು
taking those
ನನಗೆ?
pot shots just to make them uncomfortable inside the circle. 4 a.m. Well, the bolts, the lightning, it's falling on them, and finally that lightning zone, which was created by one of the opponents, has come to a stop. Solo! Oh, he's being very sneaky. Arjun, you better be aware about this, as that one player is going to take down multiple, and Solo, he's been caught red-handed, proning on top, and Krish, he's just trying to become one of
ಈ
the
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
steps.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ SMR ಇನ್ನ ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Ayush is going to take
TSG
and
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
soon
9
reach there, but
elimination
alright,
ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು
one misstep and he falls down. Solo still surviving by the skin of his teeth, but not for a longer time. Oh, there you go, Arjun. Gets the elevated angle and takes him down.
IQ eliminated.
A beautiful shot connecting,
IQ
and he's got to be
eliminated.
satisfied with that as he turns around to see where the next chaos is, because I see a bolt maker
ಸೊ
on
ಇಲ್ಲಿ
and they're
ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು
outside of the circle.
ಝೋನ್
They
ಇದೆ
need to
ಈಗ.
jump in immediately. or else this
SMR
could be
ಗಿನ
the beginning
ಝೋನ್
of the
ಇದೆ,
end for them.
ಆಚೆ ಬರಬೇಡ್ದು ಅಂತ
Because
ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ.
NSMR
ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ
being
ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬಹುದು,
wanted neighbors of each
ಸೀದಾ
other.
ನುಗ್ಗಿತ್ತು,
And guess
ಸೀದಾ
what?
ನುಗ್ಗಿತ್ತು,
Resurrection
ಸೀದಾ
just flies into the
ನುಗ್ಗಿತ್ತು.
same
ಇಲ್ಲಿ
spot. This
ಮುಂದೆ
could be a
ಮನೆ
three-way
ಇರೋದು
victory
ನಿಮಗೆ
for
ಏನ್
them.
ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಪೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಗ್ರಾಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ.
They're all banding together against
ಓ
Rivals.
ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್, ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್, ನುಗ್ಸಿದ್ದು ಗ್ರಾನೇಟ್ ಹೋಗೋಣ, ನುಗ್ಸಿದ್ದು ಗ್ರಾನೇಟ್ ಹೋಗೋಣ.
Mysterious, all right, that was
ಓ
not
ಮೈ
mysterious.
ಗಾಡ್, ಓ
He's
ಮೈ
already
ಗಾಡ್,
announced his
ಪಕ್ಕ ಪಕ್ಕ
welcome,
ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ
and he's right
8
beside
ಜನ,
them.
12 ಜನ
And
ಇರೋದು.
in the front, it's SMR.
TSG
SMR not at all
ವರ್ಗೂ
taking
ಇರೋದು.
a single shot, even though they have the window of opportunity. But IQOG XTSG, they've completely
FLX eliminated
annihilated
guys,
yet another team.
FLX eliminated.
This is where
ಈ
team
zone
starts need to
ಏನಾದ್ರೂ
pick
SMR ಕಡೆ
team starts to
ತಿರುಗುತ್ತಾ
pick up
ಈ
frags.
zone ಏನಾದ್ರೂ SMR
And some
team
of
ಕಡೆ
them
ತಿರುಗುತ್ತಾ
need to get serious as well.
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ zone ಎಲ್ಲೋಗುತ್ತೆ
SMR
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್
from distance takes down
zone
Kaushik. Could that
ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ
be the opening
6th zone
for Resurrection to
ನೋಡೋಣ
rush in? Or are they going to play it clever because 3 teams have
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ
got
ಮುಂದೆ
double
ಬಿದ್ದಿರೋದು
digit elimination so far.
ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ
PSG,
ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ
Klutzer and
PSG ನ
Resurrection.
ಹೊಡಿಬಹುದು ಗೈಸ್ ನೀವು ಹೊಡಿಬಹುದು
Easy
ಹೊಡಿಬಹುದು
revival.
Oh no.
ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ
He's
ಈಸಿ
gonna
ಒಂದು
bleed out.
ಶಾಟ್
Lovely
ಶಾಟ್
shot.
ಹೊಡಿದ್ರು ಗೈಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ
Andrew
ಶಾಟ್
Junior.
eliminated ಗೈಸ್
Jesus,
PSG
on point, Rackers!
Team
Did they
PSG
shut the entire team down?
PSG
Yes, they
eliminated
did.
ಅಂತ
I
ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು
coach
ಎಂತ
CSC, the top
ಒಪ್ಪಿದ್ದಾರೆ
dogs,
ಇವ್ರು
the
ನಾಳೆ
top
CSC
contenders
ಎಂತ
did
ಒಂದು
not get the
ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್
opportunity to
ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದು
get a hat trick
ಕ್ರೇಜಿ
of the
ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ
Booyah, and it is Team Rackers doing the heavy lifting in this lobby.
ಸೆಕ್ಸಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಗೈಸ್ ಇದಂತೂ ನಿಜವಾಗಲೂ
Doesn't miss much, but
ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದ
this time around
PSG ನ
he saw the
ಒಂದು
opponents were running out in the
ಒಂದು
open.
ಉಪಯೋಗ ಅಂತಾನೆ
He was like,
ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ
let's
ನಾನು
take them down. But Team SMR,
ಸೊ ಟೀಮ್
now
ಎಸ್
they
ಎಂ
take
ಆರ್
a
ಒಳಗಡೆ
step out of their
ಬರಬೇಕು
cover.
ಈಗ ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ
weaving their way
ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ
to make sure they get
ಸೊ
into another one
ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್
rather
ಆಗಿ
than getting
ಬರಬೇಕು
into
ಇಲ್ಲ ಬೋಲ್ಟ್ ಮೇಕರ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ಯಾವ
the
ಟೀಮ್
bolt
ಅಪ್ಪ
maker called
ಬೋಲ್ಟ್
in. Yes, it
ಮೇಕರ್
landed perfectly.
ಹಾಕಿದ್ಯಾವ
Yes, it
ಟೀಮ್
has.
ಅಪ್ಪ
Now
ಬೋಲ್ಟ್
Team
ಮೇಕರ್
SMR needs to
ಹಾಕಿದ್ಯಾ
run
ಟೀಮ್
into another
ಈಸಿ
cover,
ಡೌನ್
but TVG
ಆಗಿತ್ತು
gets taken down.
Oh, no.
The
ಟೀಮ್
assault
ಈಸಿ
is
ಡೌನ್
down, and
ಆಗಿತ್ತು
that means
ಟೀಮ್
they're gonna be weakened a
ಸಂಕೇತ
bit
ಕೂಡ
more.
ಡೌನ್
Sanket
ಆಗಿತ್ತು
also gets taken down. Obeto, the IGL, what can he do?
ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್ ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್ ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಆರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
When two teams are
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್
shooting
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
at you, all you have to
ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್
do is
ಎಸ್ ಎಂ
throw your
ಆರ್
weapons
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
down and
ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು
call it
ನೀವು
surrender.
ಓ
With Resurrection, they're taking fight against Rackers.
ನೋಡ್ತಿತ್ತು
Rackers
ಗೈಸ್
have been
3
completely
ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಟೀಮ್
annihilated.
ವೈಪೌಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು
20
ಓ ಎಸ್
eliminations
ಎಂ
is
ಆರ್
the name of
ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು
Team Resurrection,
ಟಾಪ್
and
ಫೈವ್
they're
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
not
ಎಸ್
going to
ಎಂ
stop
ಆರ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು
just yet.
ಟಾಪ್
Gar98K, and
ಸ್ಲಾಟ್
they're
ಫೈವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
spotting
ಎಸ್ ಎಂ
yet
ಆರ್
another
ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು
Team SMR eliminated in the midst of all of that, and it is Team Klutzer close by Ninja, and the point is one that they're waiting for. Klutzer, presence of mind on point, and they're still looking for Ninja. They're like, it's all right. The moment you come out, it's either going to be our point or 4 a.m.'s. But 4 a.m., I'm super happy for them. All this time they were waiting to get inside the circle, but not at all.
ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ವಿಚ್
Self-team.
ಆಗಿತ್ತು
Two teams taking
ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ವಿಚ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು
fire
4
at
AM.
them, and they're completely
ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್
annihilated.
ಎಂತ
But
ಒಂದು
wait,
ಶಾಟ್ ಗೈಸ್
Zion, it's a one and done situation as
ಆರಿಯಸ್
he has the
ಎಂತ
arm in
ಒಂದು
hand, but the
ಶಾಟ್
revival is
ಹಾಕಿದ್ದು
coming.
ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್ ಯಾವದಪ್ಪ ದರಿದ್ರ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು ನಂದು
Through Klutzer, they're stuck in the corner.
Caught behind that compound.
ಸಿಟಿಜೆಡ್ ಹೋದ್ರು ಗೈಸ್ ಸಿಟಿಜೆಡ್ ಹೋದ್ರು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಎದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ನನ್ಗೆ ಈ ತರ ದಿಗ್ತೈತೆ
Rush in, look at that. The dash comes through, but the glue walls are still there. Resurrection trying to do their best. Duffy gets taken down.
ಮುಗಿತು
Siddharth, and
ಮುಗಿತು
something will have to
ಮುಗಿತು
pull off some
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
point
ಇಂದ
and
ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು
do it. With Duffy
ಆರಿಯಸ್ದು
getting revived and getting those confirmations as well. A Booyah goes into the hands of Resurrection with a double-digit elimination.
39-pointer of a game, Team Resurrection. Way to showcase that your firepower has not been isolated. You are still the ones who can run rampant given the opportunity. And what a performance by them. And let's head to see what just happened in the final moments where Resurrection constantly saw an element of surprises after surprises. And Klutzer, kudos to them. Look at them. Tight corner, still alive. 3 members were kicking, but they did not come out of the blue wall.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what
From the likes of Lubzz, they were eyeing for that one elimination point, but they just got way too greedy. They just stood there waiting from where the opponents are going to rotate, and that was their
ಸೊ ಗೈಸ್
undoing.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ
So
ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು
get those
ನೀವು
elimination points as soon as possible, or just leave it.
ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ
It's
ಕ್ರೇಜಿ
okay.
ಅಂತಾನೆ
And one
ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು.
single person, he might take
ಏನಕ್ಕೆ
a player
ಅಂದ್ರೆ
or two, or you never know. It could have been a
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
team
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
getting
ಇವಾಗ
swayed.
ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು
Unfortunately,
ಎಂತ
Ninja,
ಸೈಕ್
he was
ಆಗಿ
taken
ಆಡಿದ್ದು
down by
ಅಂತಾನೆ.
Team Resurrection itself, and Klutza, they was just standing there looking for. Oh wait, that was ours. What just happened here?
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೀಮ್ ಎಸ್ ಮಾರು
Absolutely, man. I just love every bit of what's happening out here.
ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ
What I'm
ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ.
even more
ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್
happier
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
is
ಜಸ್ಟ್
how
ಮೂರ್
things
ಕಿಲ್
are turning
ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು
out in this game.
ಟೀಮ್ ಎಸ್ ಮಾರು. ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ್ದೇ ತರ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಟೀಮ್ ಎಸ್ ಮಾರು.
Graveyard.
ಸೊ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ಗೈಸ್ ಈ
Those
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
guys
ಏನಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು
slowly
ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ
gained
ತಗೊಂತಾರ
ground
ಅಂತ.
again.
4ನೇ
They
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
settled.
ಚೇಂಜ್
It's about the
ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಎಸ್ ಎಂ
power.
ಆರ್
It's
ಪೊಸಿಷನ್
the
ಅಂತ
raw
ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು.
gun skill, which Resurrection, they just showcased 2 circles, back-to-back sevens. Thala for
ಸೊ ಗೈಸ್ ಹಂಗೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋರು ಹೋಗಿ ಹಂಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜನ ನಿಮ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ವಾಚ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಸೈಕಾಗೆ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಕೂಡ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಗೈಸ್ ಟೀಮ್ ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಆರಿನ ಟಾಪ್ 5 ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಟೀಮ್ ಎಸ್ ಎಂ ಆರಿನ ಟಾಪ್ 5 ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಗೈಸ್. ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು.
Every other team who get eliminated early is going to fall now from the 6th position.
Oh yeah, intense quake, flawless. They see Esports. They haven't changed their position whatsoever. It's high time, guys.
Yeah.
It is high time. This is the third game already done and dusted, and still the positions haven't changed. So top 6 is where you have to head towards. Else the qualification is not going to be there. Group stages are going to be even more tough. So buckle up. Final 3 maps. And that's where you guys have to perform. So, Arka, I'm actually concerned for them.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. But ladies and gentlemen, do let us know which are the teams you're vouching for, because they need to get some points. If you're in the top, then you're safe. But again, go share it among your friends. You know how the ritual is, right? In few seconds, we'll be heading into a short break. So share it among your friends. Make sure they all come in here to enjoy as we get into the break. See you guys on the other side, where 2 more casters will be joining in.
ಸೊ ಗೈಸ್ ಲೂಸಿಫರ್ ಬಂದಿರೋದು ಲೂಸಿಫರ್
2026 Fall Plains. First half has already given us plenty to talk about, but these three matches are still left out where, the race for the coveted qualification spots are still left out. My name is Zoro. With me, joining on my side is Lucifer. Today's lobby is packed with experience, fresh rosters, and plenty of expectations. So let's see who steps up when it matters the most.
Right now, stepping up seems to be iCoach TSG, but right behind them,
So
bottom of
Lucifer
the tail
ಬಂದಿರೋದು
is
guys, Lucifer
Resurrection. Now
ಬಂದಿರೋದು
that
ನೋಡೋಣ
is great to
ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
see because a lot of familiar names and faces, and they've been delivering blows. Unlike yesterday's start, right? Nebula did not have the best, and when you go back to day 2, Arise did not even qualify. So at least for the fans out there who love to see their favorite players performing like this, they'll be happy about it. But there are some more players that were intending, waiting for this opportunity, now stepping up on these stairs to forge their legacy.
Yeah, actually, this feels like Group A kind of a performance where the teams are feeling like top heavy. If you look at the scoreboard right now, iQOG, XTSG, they have already almost confirmed their qualification, which I feel because they have already got 2 Booyahs, right? And if you get,
Correct.
79 points in 3 games, you can expect fireworks, and they're already delivering it, right? And you are just left out with the rest 4 slots or the 5 slots which are left out. So let's see how that pans out because Lubzz, they are also doing well alongside Rakers and Team SMR because all these teams who have come in through the city qualifiers, they're actually showing up well.
Everybody has to, but right as now, let's see what our predictions say. While you can also put it up in the chat and let us know. And we both have Klutza as well as Resurrection along with iCoach TSG. It's just the numbering from 1 to 3 that's different between us because hey, that's what so far has been happening. And one after another, every team has been doing well, but these are the top heavy teams. And you were mentioning, Oro, that hey, we look like we are at a run similar to what happened in Group A top heavy ended game here in Group D as well. So far that's been the case. 3 games are done, 3 more left, and I'm worried if the teams at the bottom, especially at 5, 6, 7 and 8, miss out by not just 1 but maybe 5, 6 or maybe even 10 points. So I hope teams start coping up because now the maps, they start speeding up.
The recovery has to start from Solara. And knowing the fact that Solara is an aggressive map, you can get those, high number of elimination and rack up your scoreline in the leaderboard. And that is something which would be required from all these teams which you spoke about. They are at the bottom right now. Speaking of Team Chaos, 4AM or Skylord Esports who have that opportunity to still make it to the top 6. And look at TV Tower. I don't believe it right now because I see Bloomtown and Casa Vista as open. And also Delta Isle. These are 3-4 spots which we always see teams going there, and some teams are going to obviously go there, and there are going to be early clashes. But where are those clashes going to be? Is it going to be according to the preferred drop spots, or we'll see some surprises?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be surprises all across the board, Oro. Because, hey, teams know that they're trying to sell a fake for not just us here on the desk or the viewers out there, but even the other teams. They can anticipate that there could be a clash right at the hot drops, but generally because there is a lot of survival now being involved, as we've already done with half of the games for today and half of their games that they need to qualify. They understand heading into game number 4 with less than 3 seconds, the flight about to take off, they will need to hold on to their horses to figure out the best way to acquire as many points as possible. And especially with the teams being top heavy, they have to figure out what's the approach here in Solara. Is it going to be studio, put up a show, or is it going to be completely at a different spot where you don't have to be worried teams getting closer? Delta Isle generally a little bit of a hot spot. Not sure if that's going to be the same case in this lobby.
Yep, let's have a look. We have to see the plane path for sure because that's where you get a better idea that where the circle is going to turn out. But right now, it is looking quite centric, a little skewed towards the southern end where TV Tower is kind of the center of this plane path, but the 2 ends are Hub and the Bayside, and as expected, TV Tower is not at all clustered, while it is empty, Sam, where, in the preferred drop spot, it was said to be that 4 or 5 teams were jumping in that spot.
Yeah, surprised to see that, but Funfair becoming right now hotspot for a lot of tickets for a joyride maybe. But Team Aiko OGTSG, nothing much to be worried about. An empty Delta Isle for them to grab up their armory, get them ready for the next fights. But in tandem, we ended up seeing Resurrection already picking up their very first, along with Team Chaos as well, pushing Desi to get their players back up in action.
I'm so happy to see all these teams back in the lobby, these known faces, these experienced campaigners, but the expectations are still there with them and they're delivering today. Lubzz Shub is the one who finds the first elimination for Lubzz. And wait, what? Team Aiku already got eliminated? I mean, this is a little surprise when you have so many options of getting revived back into the lobby. I'm sure one player would have missed out the memo. But right now it is SEA who are fighting against Team SMR.
SMR, let's see if they'll be able to hold it out. But Rakers as well, it seems like they are picking eliminations. 4 AM in trouble in the chaos of SMR. We spoke about Desi Esports, they did bring back their players, but right now fight against Rakers, it seems like Shobit gets taken down. His teammate Mysterious will put Freck down. That Max 7 coming into action, bringing back Shobit also up in the same time and having a total of 3 eliminations. They will be able to hold this Bolt Maker in control.
Yeah, this is a solid looking roster, right? So is Team Chaos where, we see, as I was speaking, there was one member spotted out and taken down as well. It is SEA Sad who eliminated him with the squad. Right now, SEA, they spotted Dhruva from SMR and his position is known with that UMP. That's a little ambitious in that range. You need a better weaponry, but you have no other option. You have to close in the distance and Dhruva, he needs to run away or have to find a spot for himself. But he is fighting back right now and this is going to be a little difficult because utilities are coming in, Lucifer. And he dashes in. This is sad. With that Max-10, he finds him one elimination. Actually, the third one for him. And a good start for SEA.
SEA Esports, they know why they're fighting this way is because they need to enter the top 6. The difference between them and SMR, as you can already see, is almost around 20 plus points. So if they need to get there, they need a lot of points. And right now, Lubzz, they don't have that trouble, but the challenge coming in from the opponent team, Flawless Esports, they are sitting at almost the bottom, if not for IQ. Therefore, Lubzz going in for a challenge against them, not the right bet or the play to make. And Lubzz instantly wiped them out. 4 eliminations in total for just one player and 6 in total for Lubzz as a whole.
Yeah, we were talking about Rakers, Anshu Jr. and Kid being a part of, Kid Team Legacy's roster. We saw them in TEAM FFMIC 2026 spring. They were good then, but they could not make it to the knockout stages. But this time around, they hope so, that they're prepared much more than the last time. But let's see. They're pushing in right now, 4 AM part. Obviously would put in the glue wall. He has backup, Gyro there, Mysterious. He immediately uses the time turner, but look at Gyro, he's already taken down Rakers. Kid has already been taken. One trade has to come by. Thiva helps him to get the revival quickly, but Mysterious falls again. This is not looking the way, the correct outcome which was expected from Rakers' end. They have to probably fall back, and I don't see any players following up.
Yeah, I was surprised of them just trying to slide back and forth on the rail. While they knew the player was right in front, but the challenge was them being protected with the glue wall and not ready for the fight. And seems like somewhere in the mix, Sick gets eliminated. Nothing anywhere close to where the 4 AM players just picked up the players of Rakers, so not much to be worried about, just one elimination given away. On the other end, SEA Esports, we were talking about them, they need a lot, and right now it seems like a sea of 5 eliminations in total is what they've managed to pick up. Something not same for Desi Esports, it's only one. We've been just seeing them suffering losses, reviving their teammates, and now they have an opportunity to fight, and right now in front of them, maybe this is the opportunity as they try to pick on Skylords.
Desi Esports right now, locking horns, but not interested in that way to, engage into this fight. But SEA, they have showcased that they want to fight, and as you clearly told that there's a 20-pointer difference between them and SMR, so they need those elimination numbers, and Solara is the perfect way to start because you still are left out with 2 more games after this, and after this game is done, managing that buffer is going to be very, very difficult if you look at the placements as well.
Placing themselves better is SMR, instantly taking the slide rails, dodging all the bullets, and SEA, that was unfortunate. So many shots missed, and now DVG, he gives away his position as his teammates had made it all across. Still in trouble because 2 of the players are honing their crosshairs, and none of them connecting. What happened here? SEA Esports, 5 eliminations, but all of these shots on even a single player being missed. That is a giveaway for SMR to make a quick run. However, nothing being sought after as Desi Esports, even after all their turbulent efforts, they still get swept out as the second team here in Solara.
Yeah. Rickers, they have 4 eliminations already, but SMR Dhruva, he has been the POC right now for SMR. We have seen him fight, but right now he's again alone. Can get caught off guard, but this time he manages to take down with that launcher. Was Gyro. But look at Sick, he also gets eliminated, and it's a difficult situation for Team 4AM.
sexy guys, sexy ಹೊಡ್ತಿತ್ತು ಬಂದು ಹಾಕೊಂಡ ನೋಡೋಣ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ ನಾನು 3 ಜನ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಹಾಕೊಂಡವನೆ ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ನೋಡೋಣ ಸೇಮ್ ಧ್ರುವ ಹೊಡಿತಾನ ಧ್ರುವ ಡೌನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ಈಗ ಧ್ರುವ ಹೊಡಿತಾನ ಧ್ರುವ ಡೌನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ಹೊಡ್ತಿತ್ತು ಗೈಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿವಿಜಿ ಹೊಡ್ತಿತ್ತು ಗೈಸ್ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಬಂತು ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಬಂತು ಗೈಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಟೀಮ್ SMR ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಬಂತು ಒಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋದಾ ತಿರ್ಗಾ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಹಾಕೋತಾರೆ ಒಂದು ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ಗೈಸ್
Esports, they are also happy as Team Chaos. They are unable to right now put down the players and they're the ones losing. However, quick confirmation coming in and that is going to be a okay one for Armo, but nothing much left as he also instantly gets traded out. So SEA, they might have dabbled with giving one elimination away. Nothing much to be lost or being sad about because they have in total 4 eliminations, which they just got more and total of 8 to made it.
Ninja is still surviving for Team Chaos, so as long as he's surviving, see, yeah, immediately he brings back, he gets the opportunity to bring back Armo there. So one by one, I would expect Team Chaos players, members to join back the lobby, but they're very close by Team Haiku, GXTSG, who have decimated the lobby today with 2 Booyahs already, probably finding their third one. I'm sure they would want to replicate what Team Lead did or would love to set their own record, because in 6 games, if you're able to pull out something close to 150, TSG would be happy to do it. But I think at this very moment, they have to fight against SEA to do that, to make it successful. And SEA have made it very solid and clear that they want those elimination points.
Yeah, they're trying to climb up and seems like Solara is working out for them. Ikoji TSG, they've held their fort right as of now. And they are able to at least hold off SEA from attacking in their forefront approach. Ayush ready, he spotted the players, call being given and now they want to make a quick jump to it. Steffi being used and right now I want to see if it's going to work out. And there is the opening, that's what they wanted, all the players down. Quick on the reviver, SEA Esports, but is it going to work out? As close up and personal, Ayush ready, FGL being used and even Ronin together and Krish coming in. 3 of the players down, only 1 who made it across while the entire 3 players confirmation works for Aiko OG TSG.
Aiko OG XTSG, Lucifer, they have always been the team who has been mechanically gifted, but they have always lacked on the direction part. And with Ronit coming in, that part is looking so solid. Even though this is still day 1 and this is still the playing stage, people would say that please, everybody would want to hold on to their horses because they still have to prove a lot. And there are some active changes on this roster, even though they still made it to land last time. But, Aiko OG XTSG fans, we all know that they are always hard on them. They are always being criticized for something they do in the lobby. But let's see how it turns out. Right now, it's going good for them. But this is Resurrection fighting against a team. Wait, this is SEA? And it is Fiasco who's out in the open and he gets taken down. Is it a squad wipe? Yeah, it is.
Yeah. While they did find one player from Team Chaos, they did not know that the other player was from a completely different team and even the last survivor. And SEA Esports, even after finding 8 eliminations, unfortunate, get eliminated at the 10th spot. So therefore,
oh guys, SMR ಗೆ 10 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಬಂದಿರೋದು
not much
99% ಸಾಗೋಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಕಿಲ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೊಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಗೈಸ್ ಅದು ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇನ್ನೇನಾದ್ರೂ SMR ಟೀಮ್ ಇನ್ನ 3 ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ TSG ಗೆ ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಬಂದಿರೋದು SMR ಜೊತೆಗೆ ತಿರ್ಗಾ TSG ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಯಾರಂದ್ರೆ SMR ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ
But this time around for Flawless, it's the elimination part, which is where they are lacking right now. They would
TSG most
where they would get the confidence back, but right now confidence is the issue for Team Ico GXT.
ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಒಬ್ಬಿಟ್ಟವ್ನ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು RSCS ಒಬ್ಬಿಟ್ಟವ್ನ ಕಿಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು. ನಮ್ಮೂರೇ ಜನ ಉಳಿದಿರೋದು, 3 ಜನ ಇರೋದು.
using that vending machine, probably shopping going on, but that was not the case. What Aiko GX TSG are in the mood to do. Scary, he's running away as he should because he's the last man, and if he gets taken down, I feel that this is going to be an end for Team Chaos because he has no way to run away from this spot, Lucifer.
ಟೀಮ್ ಕೇಒಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಟೀಮ್ ಕೇಒಸ್ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟೆಡ್.
That is the end for Team Chaos, and they got ended up at the 6th spot. Now 4 AM is on the chase. They'll be happy that this happened. They acquired 7 eliminations. The difference right now still stands at around 5 points, but 4 AM, as long as they survive, find some more eliminations or maybe placement points for themselves, they should be able to make it across.
ನೋಡೋಣ guys, ನೋಡೋಣ.
They don't have much to be worried, but they soon might be in trouble, and there it is. That's going to be Zian. We just saw how Resurrection
SMR 10 ಕಿಲ್ ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಟಾಪ್ 4 ಆ ಥರ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬಂದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಒಂದು ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. They will get on extra points. ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಇದು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆರಾಮ್ಸೆ ಆಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. 10 ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಈ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಬೇಡ ನನಗೆ ಅಂತ ಆಡ್ಕೊಂಡು. ಬಟ್ TSG ಅವರು ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಅವ್ರ ತಾನೆ ಯಾಕೆ ತಿರ್ಗಾ TSG ಯಾಕೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 6 ಟೀಮು ಗೈಸ್, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 6 ಟೀಮ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದು. 4 ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಇನ್ನ SMR ಅಂತ, ಇನ್ನ 4 ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ SMR ಅಂತ. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. SMR ಝೋನ್ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಝೋನ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ SMR ಗೆ.
Talk about somebody on a roll. They're the roller coasters of this game.
ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು
Game number 4
ಅಂತ. 4 ಜನ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
back to back.
ತಿರ್ಗಾ TSG ಗೈಸ್, ತಿರ್ಗಾ TSG ನೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು. SMR ತಿರ್ಗಾ TSG ಬಟ್ ನುಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದು ಗೈಸ್. TVG 1 ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು. ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು. ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಫಿನಿಶ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್. ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇವಾಗ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್? ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಏನಾಗ್ಬೋದು? ಒಬಿಟೋ ನಾಕ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಒಬಿಟೋ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಗೈಸ್, ಒಬಿಟೋ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ಐಸ್ ಹೊಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಟೀಮ್ SMR ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಇರೋದು.
thinking they have the complete advantage against ICOG TSG. They get taken down. It's down to the last.
Oh my god. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಟೀಮ್ SMR ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 11 ಕಿಲ್ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. 11 ಕಿಲ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರೋದು. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಫೈರಿಂಗ್ ಫುಲ್ 4 AM ಮೇಲಿದೆ. ಫೈರಿಂಗ್ ಫುಲ್ 4 AM ಮೇಲಿದೆ. SMR ಟೀಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. SMR ಟೀಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಮೈಲು ಯಾವ ತರ ನುಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಗೈಸ್. ಐಶುಲಿ ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ನುಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಐಶು. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ RACS ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಗೈಸ್. ಬಟ್ 4 AM ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 1 ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಟಾಪ್ 4 ಟೀಮ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರು ಆಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 1 ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಇವ್ರು ಬೇಡ, ಅವ್ನು ಬೇಕು. ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್ ಗೈಸ್, SMR ನಾಕ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರು. ಇಲ್ಲ SMR ಇನ್ನ ಇಬ್ರಿರೋದು. SMR ಇಬ್ರಿರೋದು. ಏನಾಗ್ಬೋದು ಗೈಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? SMR ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಗೈಸ್. SMR ಟಾಪ್ 4 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು. TSG eliminated guys. TSG eliminated.
Denied by Resurrection. It's a 1v4 for sure. And look at Siddharth going for crazy with that grenade launcher. He wants to knock himself, but it is Zian who steals it and says, "Let me get one more for myself." And it is Resurrection with back-to-back Booyahs, Lucifer.
Resurrection, brilliant stuff. They just telling it's not only ICOG TSG. They might have been the invited squad, but we are not going to let them just walk away, run away with opportunity, get these eliminations, get a Booyah for ourselves, and also show everybody that there is another team to dominate in the lobby. And therefore we called it in our game number 4 start that this is going to be very top heavy. Let's take a look at the last shot. It started with we watching Lubzz as well as Rakers, and Rakers did have the numbers, but unfortunately look at Shub all alone, just sighting across, and thanks to the help of Ziyan as always being a menace with that sniper. You did see Ayush also try his best, but the numbers not that great on ICO OG TSG, and then Resurrection in all directions that they spotted the opponents, took all of them down.
I mean, Resurrection Esports, the name couldn't be more fitting, Lucifer. Players who once carried different banners have now united under one. They're not rebuilding careers, they're rebuilding expectations, and they're doing it so well. Dafiq, the way he has grown, the way he has shown maturity in this lobby and today's, 4 games is immense, right? Look at Siddharth. There are 2 snipers in the lobby. Siddharth is also known as one of the good snipers in the community, and they join hands together, and that gives them more firepower, and that is why the bigger numbers are being cranked up by these players. And there goes Ziyan with 8 elimination. Imagine Dafiq being in the lobby and Ziyan is getting 8 elimination. It's just giving Dafiq that space to grow more.
I really like how this team is coming together. While we are seeing the rushers on one end, yes, they're doing the job, but the snipers doing the heavy lifting, as you already mentioned about Siddharth. Ziyan going way big, as you can see, MVP, 5,732 damage coming in from his end. He is making it seem like it's a piece of cake, a cakewalk for him right as now, but nonetheless, we know how intense it was, how controlling he has been with the menace of a sniper with the AWM. We saw his shots coming too. Skylar Riptide Rhythm being used along with that Moko, Luna and Maro, and all his hits, one after another, through his opponents, getting the eliminations.
Yeah, beautiful from Ziyan, and that too in consecutive games. He definitely is showing up for his team and is creating immense value right now. Resurrection at this point.
So guys, game
have
those
got
game standing
almost
ನೋಡಬಹುದು
28
ನೀವು
points
ಈಗ
from this
ಟಾಪ್
fight.
4 ಅಲ್ಲಿ
They
15
got
ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್
Booyah, but
ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
IQ OG
ಟೀಮ್
XTSG
SMR
has higher
18
numbers of
ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ
eliminations.
with
We have
7
seen it, every time a
elimination,
team who scores
7
20 plus
points.
elimination, they are the ones
Crazy ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು
get
guys.
to that top spot, and this time it is again IQ OG XTSG. Imagine, Sam, I already told you after the 3 games that IQ OG XTSG was sitting with 79 points. Add more 30 points to it, so they've already crossed the 100-pointer in 4 games.
If this keeps happening, while the right now highest score sits at 142 total points, Oro, I am worried where we'll end up once game 6 is done. And these added points you mentioned, yes, we are already at 100 plus points. You will eventually see the today's standings as well, which will give you an idea. But the teams who missed the opportunity almost look like they could have an opportunity, pick up a lot in terms of eliminations. Was SCA Esports, we spoke about it, getting eliminated at the 10th spot, just getting 1 placement point. I was too sad for them, because they have 2 more eliminations from anybody else in the bottom, and those 2 eliminations are big. When you just think about yesterday, teams got left out because there was a miss of a single or double points in their standings.
Yeah, I remember, you're definitely talking about Rise Esports. They could not qualify because of that 1 point. So hopeful that today we do not end up seeing something like that, and for that not to happen, these players have to be very accurate about their rotations, because IQ OG XTSG, we know that they did not end up landing towards the extreme northeastern side of the map where the circle ended. It was towards Funfair, but the way they rotated inside the circle and ended up getting those eliminations, it was very clear for them that they are not fighting for the Booyah. If you saw them in the last fight, they were pretty much going YOLO against all the teams out there, because they knew that eventually they're going to fall. It was going to be Resurrection's game because they had the better edge and the better angle, and they ended up converting it, and they got those eliminations, which gave them that extra edge again, and there you go. It's 109 for IQ OG XTSG already, Lucifer.
109, 102 for Resurrection. Klutza, they are far behind, but not too much to be worried about, because this is not a chase towards either the top 3 or you getting a podium in terms of the prize money. The prize money is still a little bit far in terms of reach. Rakers at 57 points, that's the biggest in terms of leap. 33 in difference along with Team SMR, and then coming in is Team Chaos, who are almost at a difference of 60 if you count the team at the top. However, 4am, they'll be happy that they're at only 1 point difference because they are the only closest team right as now at the end of game 4. But Skylord, SEA, Flawless, they better start raking up points because from their position at 34 points, they have a difference of 15, and then you quickly jump into every team is at 20 points, so they are at a difference of at least 20 plus points. This tells us the lobby is getting tougher if the top teams keep taking away the points. SCA, even after getting 8 eliminations, how much did they acquire on placement? Just 1, making it a total of 9 points. So that movement is not going to be enough to make a quick jump. Just an example, even though Nebula is an invited team, but because of their big games that they ended up starting at game number 2, game number 3, they managed to get back into the top 6 comfortably. But for these teams, because right now we are not talking about game 2 or game 3, it is game 4. Next is game 5. Game 4 done, all your mistakes done. Now game 5 and game 6, the last two, and especially a biggest hurdle at game 6 is you don't know which game you're stepping into. So you better buck up and get ready on next era.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I completely agree with what you said right now, Lucifer, because, you know, these bottom 4 teams, they have to do a heavy lifting right now because they have to get those bigger numbers. They have to fight it out with teams, and that is not going to get easy with next era coming in and with the randomizer being there on the 6th map. We don't know that what is the map going to come up. You know, if they are going to fight on Bermuda, probably some are going to be happy, some are going to be unhappy. They would have wanted Kalahari or Solara, but that's not the case here. The only thing is that they need those elimination points, and I'm sure that Booyahs are not going to save them. They need elimination with Booyahs so that they crank up the number to a 25 plus or 30 plus, to be honest. Otherwise, it's going to be GG's for them because they're not going to be able to qualify for the group stages. Right now, the preferred drop spots, just like last time, we saw that TV Tower was left out empty. I don't think Farmtopia is going to be left out empty. Grave Labs, there's only one team going there. That's Resurrection. Let's see how that turns out because Resurrection is a red hot team right now with 2 back-to-back Booyahs, as is Team IQ OGX TSG.
And with that, let's see where we predict the teams to be at. Let's take a look at the top 3. You have Rakers, Team Chaos, and Klutza. I've gone in for again blindly. It has to happen. IQ TSG and Resurrection, but I bring back Rakers. Rakers were again close. I'm looking at them making an impact a lot more. Maybe they're Booyah. But looking at the pattern, Oro, I am worried because if you see entirely, it's IQ TSG. It is Resurrection. IQ TSG, Resurrection. So if these two teams itself keep getting the Booyahs, as you mentioned, if there is no balance between a closer Booyah, rather because I'm talking about them getting the Booyahs and these teams missing it out, I am worried. But we are jumping into next era, which we know in the Free Fire match circuit can give you a lot of points because teams keep reviving one after another. They don't let go of this map. This is your next opportunity. You can see already so many of them taking an early drop already from Intellect Center. And this could cause drop clashes as well. It's only 4 AM that I see safe and sound, and IQ once again seem like they might be in trouble, and SMR are the ones. They are also looking good, and they've fought. They want to stay in the top 6, and if they fight with IQ, they might be able to make it.
All I can say is more revival is equal to more points for the top lifters, but let's see if that happens again, because I don't see any drop clashes. Oh my god, this is a little surprising right now. Even though there are few shots being exchanged, you know, wait, there is a gunfight, and this is between IQ OGX TSG and Team SEA.
Mid-air.
Oh my goodness, they're literally revolving, and that gets immediately picked off with that Uzi. And Ayush goes berserk with that mini Uzi, and he gets one more. This is not the ideal start they wanted. SEA Saksham, he fights back, but for how long is the question, Lucifer?
He's the one of the last ones standing and make it the last man standing, and I think the last player did already cut this fight, make a run. However, IQ TSG, Arjun seems like he might have a hint of where that player tended, especially with knowing where the vending machine is. Did use the binoculars, and it seems like maybe he just got a hint, slight nudge of the player, but maybe he got away from the radius. And now IQ TSG, from an opportunity where they could have wiped out the team, SCA have a breath of relief, have a breath of survival, but for how long? Same is the trouble for IQ. They suffered at the previous game without anything. They were out as soon as we landed, seeing every team. They were not even in the ground. And right now it could be trouble, but it seems like somebody is going to be a savior, as 4 AM have jumped in and SMR have another distraction or attention to pay to, and it's Sanket going down, meaning SMR, they better buck up or they're going to lose their players who are all outside.
4 AM, they're right on the rooftop. They have the better in terms of the higher ground. they can definitely put you under pressure. Oh wait, Cairo, while he jumps down, he gets taken down. But immediately brings him back. But SMR, they are inside the compound. They come out, uses the chrono shield and immediately retaliates. 4am, there's still a player to be taken out. Sick goes down, but look at the way players are dealing with the situation. It is the player who's still sitting on the rooftop who's creating the problems. But we are at this moment towards Zipway, where Rakers are. That fight between Skylord Esports and Team Chaos, that is happening in a different direction. But I just hope that, teams are not getting eliminated so early in the game, Lucifer.
Yeah, nobody is. Teams are trying to take them out, but it's not happening yet. We spoke about it. Next era is a map where everybody will get their players back up. They will try their best, and especially it right now playing out at game number 5, meaning every team understands that they are so close to survive and make it to the top 6 or so close to elimination as well. It is either way threat and an adrenaline rush that they're trying to make use of. Rakers, in the meantime, we already saw them there jumping across. SCA again in another trouble. Somehow they fended off the fight previously, but wait, what happened? Skylord, they get picked off, and they're the very first team. I did not think that this will happen. However, Kid, his approach also same, but he did not pay attention to a player who was close by. However, with the shots taken, he will give that information to his teammates and moves in the other direction as the players of SEA Esports climb down. He also slowly tending towards the floor and now getting ready for action.
Kid with the Maximin in his hand. Why did he suddenly decide to run away? Because he was completely the one who put up that glue wall and tried to engage in that situation. Right now, Sad, he has that charge buster, puts in the glue wall, but Chobit, he needs a breather. But will he get that breather is the question. No, is the answer. Anshu, he needs a diversion. He has to be the one, but look at Fiasco, he's already on a flank. The question is, Anshu, does he know his positioning? Wait, he gets picked off by Aiko GXTSG, and that is Ayush from the longer range. Picks him off, catches him off guard, and immediately finishes him, and the focus shifts onto Anshu Jr.'s Lucifer.
Anshu Jr. in trouble. However, he has a track. He will make a run out of there. Kid, however, he thought he could be jumping back in the same spot and be safe. SEA Esports, they don't know that is Aiko OG TSG that is trying to take a shots at. So SEA, after winning it, they'll be happy. Arjun almost getting Kid knocked out. M82B not sealing the fate of Kid as of now. However, Ronit has the call, and there it is. Krish finally with the quad knocks and gets the confirmation as well. SEA Esports are wondering, wait, we just had one team we were fighting with. Who's the other? Who made an entry here now? SEA Esports, they're making a run. Boltmaker being called. Aiko GTSG. There's been a little bit of a wound. Krish has to patch himself, and that is the call. They decide to back off rather than take this approach in the Boltmaker and maybe be hurt by it.
Look at the vicinity. I mean, Lucifer, 4am is surrounding. But Aiko GXTSG, they're prepared for them as well. This team is handling 2 teams at a time. And they're doing and managing it so well right now. Aiko GXTSG. We know that Ronit has ended up in this, in this lineup for sure. But, it has shown a lot of difference already. Again, which brings me back to the point that the decision making is looking so confident. And there's no questioning whatsoever. And they're actually jumping onto 4am.
It was an approach. They knew that playing from a downhill position will not work out. And now in mid-air, Ayush, he picks him off. What are those shots now? 4am in trouble. While they thought that nobody is surrounding them, that's Aiko GTSG. You can never expect of what they are trying to do. And now, out of the blue, they are losing players. And more is the chase coming in. But Lubzz, they're here. They become a surprise for Aiko GTSG. One of the players getting knocked. And Ayush now instantly has to back off because Krish is bleeding out. And I think that is going to be a little unfortunate. He will not have an opportunity to revive. And Krish's confirmation will go to Klaus. And now Klaus, he's closing the distance with the max 7, and hurt is Ayush, and he will also get picked off. Confirmation one after another. Now Lubzz, they get a total of 10 elimination for themselves as they surround Aiko GTSG and push them back.
Whatever these guys are doing, they need to wrap it up quickly because Flawless are circling, Chaos is circling. This has turned out to be a party spot for all the teams out there who want points right now. Chaos, they are not in the top 6, they are in the race. Flawless, they're also right at the bottom and they also need points. They also need those elimination game going in for them. That confidence is required. In the meanwhile, Aiko GXTSG got completely eliminated out of the lobby. This is the very first game they have got eliminated, so early, and this has turned out to be a shocker for us. But Bully, he gets taken down, but Kaushik brings the fight back to Flawless. He has a different angle altogether. with that SKS. He's controlling a lot. And definitely his position is going to be crucial. If he gets taken down, Lubzz's hold is going to be a little weaker, Lucifer.
Crucial, his position as you mentioned. But right as now, Lubzz have surrounded. Wait, what a shot! Kishu! That is from a different position. It's another third party happening.
Yep.
One after another. This position has seen multiple third parties. Aiko TSG thought they were on top of it, but it did not work out. Armo closing the distance. Shub doing the damage. Bully helping out, and Armo is done. However, his teammates so close, multiple in numbers, and they quickly revive him. Shub, can he change this chrono being used to avoid the shots? But the shots are not stopping coming in, especially because of the distance. Ninja trying his best to provide cover fire, but Lubzz are spread so far apart that Team Chaos, even if they want to continue this fight, they cannot, and slowly now they are backing off, giving Lubzz the space to get back into Zipway.
Yep, I don't think Team Chaos wants to engage anymore because the players are clustered. They're more interested in looting for sure. You know, if players are getting revived back, I'm 100% sure that they would require those loot. But there's a different fight happening. This is SMR going against Resurrection. The Fee gets his second elimination. And in no time, Resurrection is back again with 8 eliminations. Did you see them doing it? The answer should be no, but they have done it again and they are charging onto SMR, and probably they might end up fighting Team IQ as well.
At least this is a good game for the teams at the bottom, because except for ICOG TSG, mainly ICOG TSG have been taken down. Resurrection are now trying to pick up eliminations. They just get one more. And these are some stragglers who unfortunately got left out, and now look at this. Desi Esports' Vedant gets a monster truck driven over him, loses half of his HP, more than half, and now Siddharth with the max 7 so close that he can't do anything. He did not have the right weapon on hand. He couldn't even closely aim. That's how difficult it got for Desi Esports, and more trouble now striking because Rakers have them surrounded. However, Mysterious goes down, and Freck, he doubles down, puts Shobit as well, and Kid, while he was trying to get one, he finally hits Freck. Puts the end for Desi Esports. I thought Freck almost brought it back for the side, but it was not enough. Unfortunate. Rakers, however, keep it flying and get those points.
The number game was always against him, even though the hope was real, Lucifer. I feel it, and I feel for Desi Esports. But right now, Resurrection, they have intruders, and it is Team Chaos. Wait, Obito is the solo survivor for Team SMR, and he spotted. No, he's not the solo survivor. He was one of the survivors from Team SMR. He gets picked off, and immediately one elimination point converted. And DVG, he also get eliminated. He gets spotted by Team Resurrection. You know, this isn't looking that great for Team SMR because they're getting picked off individually, and these solo fights are never going to help you as a team.
The eastern side of Nextera has seen so many fights, bolt makers, teams being eliminated. And it seems like players are still sticking here, as you can see at the edge of mud side. Nice shot coming in from Siddharth. This is why when you have snipers who are already deadly, and on top of it, it ends up being dual snipers in a team. You can see Siddharth just got a knock and elimination, whereas Xian has the most damage, 3,100. Yeah. Remember the previous game? He's already sitting at 5,000 as an MVP of the previous game, and now already at 3,000. If it continues with still 7 teams surviving, 8th being them, it could be a lot more that Xian can find. But right now, it's the Feek. It seems like these eliminations are getting shared. They are now getting a little bit of a jealous within the team rivalry. It's good for their health because it keeps every team, every player at a tiptoe, and they're doing the damage. However, Team Chaos trying to take those eliminations as an advantage, trying to take those points away from them because they are right now at the 6th spot. 4M who have got eliminated. It seems like Team Chaos want to solidify their position at the 6th spot. Make sure going into game number 6 they're at a better spot. Flawless Esports, they're the closest after 4am going down. 11 in total eliminations, but now they have a charge coming in from SCA who want the same thing, is get to the top 6, and this time a little slow, but still SCA keep firing.
Yeah, 3 teams were fighting in boxing gym. The fight still continues. Ayan is the one from Team Aiku who cleans up those players. The knocked out players are still left out. Fiasco is eliminated, which leaves out with Sad and Bablus, the 2 players who are surviving. I don't think Sad will be able to survive for long. Aimbot is the one who will eliminate him. The last man standing for Team SEA, he has left this building. For sure, he would require those players to be brought back. Otherwise, it would be end for Team SEA. In the last game, I still remember, Lucifer, they got 8 eliminations. They were looking solid, but they ended up getting 1 survival point. And that is something which you do not require at this, leaderboard, because the top teams are still delivering. Even though IQ, OG, XTSG have got eliminated, but Lubzz, Rakers and Resurrection, they're still building those numbers.
Numbers by the top teams every time. SMR has gotten a full squad revive. This is what troubles. While I was talking about the teams at the bottom, this is their best opportunity with IQ, OG, TSG going down. And Resurrection not yet doing a lot of eliminations. They should have been the ones taking it away. But now the teams at the bottom fighting amongst themselves gives an opportunity. It seems like Team SMR, somebody steps out from Team Chaos. And there, look at Kaushik, how bold. Right in front of his enemy's line. Was using the stealth bite, so therefore he survives. Still has the M1887. Klaus has closed the distance, had a charge buster as well. There, Ninja, he's been taken down. That's Bully from afar. That is the reason they hold Bully. But Amo, he comes in, takes Kaushik down, and Shubh trying to protect.
Resurrection, they have managed to defend the spot. And Lubzz, they're only surviving with a solo player. Wait, did he get taken down as well? I think so. He has also... No, wait. He has not been eliminated yet. It's Bully who's the last man surviving. He's spotted by Xian with that VSK94. He's waiting for that glue wall to break off. But Team Chaos is also closer to Bully, who can take him down immediately. But Team Chaos, they have to deal with Team IQ right now. 3 versus 4. This is a number disadvantage for IQ, but look at the numbers. They have the confidence. 15 eliminations already raked up. Kishu and Armo, they are stuck in the corner, and Resurrection decide to push in as well. This is total chaos, and Tafiq is something immediately shuts down Team Chaos, Lucifer.
I don't know how Team Chaos still made it there, but now Resurrection is there. They're not going to let anybody revive each other. They won this lobby. 21 total eliminations, but Siddharth gets lost. That's going to be IQ. IQ, I don't know how they managed to make it this far. They were the ones to get eliminated very first. It's a 3v3 fight now. Up and forefront. Something has spotted them. Iron, the glue wall being destroyed, and now Solo's out. That's Xian helping out. However, Iron and Aimbot, they find one needs something, and the Fig both down. It's all up to Xian from afar. Aimbot picking these eliminations, making it even more worse for Resurrection. Now Xian is left all alone. Bablu is left all alone. And Aimbot, a 1v1v1 situation for this final fight.
It's a 3-way Mexican standoff, but with Solo survivors, Lucifer, Aimbot for IQ. Resurrection has Xian and Bablu for SEA. The question is, Bablu is not looking to engage in this spot. He has a good spot, but look at Xian. He wants to play out with the information game. Bablu is sitting inside that arsenal. He's waiting, and the circle is moving in the opposite direction. It is Bablu who can deal with this situation perfectly. The Riptide Rhythm being used already. Xian is already causing a lot of problem. The only issue is Xian is only left out with 8 glue walls, and I don't think that 8 glue walls is going to help him. He would require a lot more than that.
But his opponents also need a lot more. As you can see, Aimbot, had a vehicle. Quick on the pickup truck, instant boost, and now getting in. And Xian will not let him. He will not spare his life. What was those shots coming in? 10 in total. And IQ, who made it so far, will only be getting the 3rd spot. Still better than what they got in the last one. They need a lot more points, but what does Bablu do? You mentioned about Xian having only 8. Now it's come down to the 5 glue walls. Make it 7 he ended up getting. And now Bablu, the last one, he is making a jump, trying to get closer. I think he wants a close combat. Nice nade being tossed, using a Riptide Rhythm as well, but it's not working out. Finally coming in, closing the distance, using the shots, and the Mac 10 do the job for SEA Esports. And they get the Booyah. What a play coming in from Bablu. He knew his advantage, went for the CQC, and pulls off a Booyah, takes it away from all the top teams in the standings.
You know, this has happened for the 2nd time that, you know, a team has been denied a hat-trick, Lucifer. First, this was IQ, OG, XTSG, and now it is Resurrection. It could have been a hat-trick Booyah for Resurrection, and Xian would have been the perfect man to deliver it, but definitely it had to be Bablu. You know, he pulled it off with 6 elimination points, and SEA needed it. They were towards that 8th spot, and those points are more than welcome for them. And here is the last moment. You know, you look at, you know, the chaotic situation that happened inside that building, right, Lucifer? It was Team IQ fighting against Chaos, and that's where Team Resurrection decided to, you know, do a 3rd party. And we saw that, you know, from 3 teams, it was 1 individual players who were surviving, and Xian, as we always know, that he is never willing to stop. He immediately took down Aimbot, and he was fighting his battle against Bablu. But, you know, eventually it was Bablu who got the Booyah, and it was much needed for SEA.
I thought maybe it would be Xian running out of glue walls, but he had that steel cover in front of him as a compound. From there, it ended up being Bablu. I don't know what happened there. That Bablu all of a sudden let that fight come down to just him and the opponent, and he did not know who it was, but he knew that he had an opportunity for a Booyah for his team, who have to climb up. Now I want to see how the today's standings seem to be, because if this did not happen, there would have been a lot in terms of chaos that could have broken out for SEA Esports. Even kudos to IQ Esports, because they made it so far. They got swept out. They were the first team to be eliminated in our game 4, but now in this game 5 making it a top 3. Amazing stuff. With this, let's take a look at our Booyah team stats. As you can see, Sad, Bablu, Fiasco and Saksham, but the credits all go to Bablu.
Yeah.
And now I know why he ended up playing that way. He was on the extreme state, having Zayn, having Shani, Thiva, all of this helping him for tanking and helping his teammates up, and then Nikita for the firepower in terms of reloading speed. He played it to perfection, making sure Xian doesn't get a close combat opportunity.
Yep, he was the medic for the team alongside Saksham.
Sorry, long range opportunity.
I mean, see, if it would have been Fiasco, he would have played throughout that last circle in a different damage. But he, even though he assisted with one knock, and any of his teammate would have converted it. But one thing is for sure that they did not end up with a higher number of eliminations. So I'm not quite sure, even though they have got the Booyah, right, Lucifer, they still are, have they covered that gap between them and, a lot more other teams who are on above them. But sad, he is definitely the one who has ended up getting the Booyah with 3 elimination, and he is one of them who's showing a lot more potential than the other 3. I don't want to portray anybody lower than him, but I'm sure he has been the stronger one for that team, who is doing or cutting off the number of eliminations, or maybe delivering the damage in the lobby.
I would want to give this to Bablu as well, because he was the one who ended up getting the Booyah for the team. But I really like that a rusher with the M249, and this is just an unstoppable beast of a weapon, because once you keep firing, especially, it helps in destroying glue walls. This is something that I was having a discussion, and players now, why they kind of move away from maybe the Riptide Rhythms, they bring in the other ones. Nero's plushie, especially with the nerf it got, that players are not taking it. Now we have not seen so many plushies being used. That tells us that now teams are trying to tend with just these glue wall destroyers as weapons. And with that, let's take a look at the game standings. SEA, with the Booyah that they got, they have a total of 18 points. But look at Resurrection. Come on, you can't keep doing this. 33 points without a Booyah takes away so much. And if this continues, it is going to be a lot more of a problem, especially for teams such as Intense Quake, IQ that we were watching. 26 in total points, but they were sitting at the bottom. SEA Esports, who needed to make it to the top 6, they only got 18 points. Klutza, they're already in the top 6 and they take 21 points. So teams taking away so many points, I don't know what has happened in the standings as of now. 15, anything below 20 feels like a below par kind of a performance for the standards, especially when you're at the bottom 6.
Exactly. And it also, if you look at the standard, right, Resurrection and IQ, GX, TSG, anything below 20 feels like that. But right, for now, it's a circle analysis where definitely some good movements and good rotations coming in from Team Chaos. They were the one I thought that they could have converted this game, probably would have been the best of the situations, because they are also fighting, right there towards that 6th position or the 7th position, to be honest. But it was again Resurrection who managed to, get in the bigger numbers, because they were fighting all along the way. And Xian almost clutched it for his team, but it was SEA Bablu who had his cool when the fight was onto him, and he completed the fight and converted the game for his team.
And with that, let's take a look at today's standings. After what Bablu did, is it enough?
No.
Only to the 8th spot, 46 points. 4 AM, they did not make a move. They were the ones closest who could have made it to the top 6, because we spoke about it. They're a difference of 1, but right now their difference has increased to 10 points, because Team Chaos, they also made a lot of points in the previous game. Intense Quake, IQ that we were talking about, they have a total of 43 points, made a 3 position jump. But this is in game number 5. It's only one last game left, game number 6, and what can teams do? SEA Esports, Intense Quake and 4 AM. These are the only teams I see having a possibility. Flawless, yes, they have 41 points. Maybe we can try and count them. But looking at their performance, I am a little doubtful for Flawless Esports. Because imagine, if it's Flawless, if it's Intense Quake, if it is 4 AM, if it is SEA, there's already 4 teams along with Team Chaos who want to hold their position as a stronghold at the 6th spot. So it's very tough for just one spot and 5 teams fighting at the same and making that nature seem possible. So I feel like it's already tough for 4AM and SEA. So Team Chaos, they better hope that they just survive just like they did in Next Era.
And they also have to hope that they have to survive longer than what these teams do, because if by any chance these guys get the Booyah with at least 10 eliminations, they can cross them at any point of time. But not for IQ. IQ, even though they got 26 points in the previous game, they have probably caught on to the game a little late, but it is the randomizer again. The question comes down to that last game. This is the map where your probably things can change, but what is going to be?
Yeah.
Is it Purgatory? Is it Bermuda? Okay, so it is. No, wait, it is not Solana.
No.
It's Kalahari. Is it? Okay,
It is.
Kalahari. Yeah.
Kalahari it is. We start with Kalahari. We are ending it on Kalahari, and it was Aiko OG TSG who got their Booyah. Let's take a look at our predictions, chat. Your very own, and let us know if that's going to be the case, that they have a chance of a comeback. And that being the reason, when I was putting these names, the reason I thought, hey, Aiko OG TSG have gotten it, Resurrection have gotten it, and we are seeing Resurrection being a lot more consistent and heavy in terms of their fights. I keep them at their first spot, maybe looking forward to 3 Booyah. But Rakers and Klutza, I want to see them. They are almost there, but they're missing out, Oro.
Yeah, I was looking at our predictions. We have been pretty bang on with our predictions today. Most of the teams we have predicted, they are in the top 6. So I'm happy about it. But we are about to start with the last map. There are still hopes for the last, bottom teams where SEA, IQ still they are dangling with Team Chaos. And, will they be able to make it to the top 6? Will they be able to make it to the group stages? That's the question. You guys can go ahead and give your 2 cents on it. Give your predictions who is going to win this game, because this game is going to be very, very important for those bottom 3 teams.
Let's see who it is going to be as we head towards Kalahari. The land of the Sniper's Haven. Hook guns coming into play where everybody will try to jump closer to each other. Bablu might have done it in a 1v1, but it is going to be multiple players trying to do it. Already teams taking a dive, and it was Klutza the very first to take a dive, and they're moving towards Shrines. When we talk about Desi Esports, they try to make a jump. They think they are all alone, but they aren't. At confinement, they're about to be confined by Skylord, and I hope either Desi or Skylord survive, because both of them need points, and if they only get the points, it's good, because Team Chaos, they are closer. 2 of their players trying to move around to see if there is something at confinement as pickoffs.
Yeah, 4 AM, Flawless, Team Aiko OG XTSG, all there towards Refinery, and it's a bloodbath right now. This situation looks dangerous. Arjun, he has an AK. Probably would fancy his chances because of the weaponry. He finds himself a better swap with a double vector. You do not want to engage in the situation. Quiet immediately gets taken down with that double vector in hand. Arjun would be super confident. It's not a sniper, but that's not a problem, because the rest members from Aiko OG XTSG, they are here to give him that backup, and Flawless have stepped away from this situation, as they should have done pretty early in the game.
Yeah. Maybe it is not too late, but Flex, he is now the last one standing. If he gets spotted in, he is Ayush along with his teammate, both of them firing, and he will be put down, and that is the end for Flawless Esports. Their chances at our next week is now gone. Unfortunate, they took this fight head on at Refinery, and Refinery, we all know, is a chaotic place, not the best spot to drop. And right as now, when we speak about the drop, we were talking about Desi Esports along with Skylord Esports. And it seems like Team Chaos, they made it up to this mix of it, and they're the ones getting put down rather than either Skylord or Team Chaos. Rather than Desi Esports.
I was concerned about 4 AM. That was kind of a ballsy move from them, jumping in Refinery, taking those fights onto Aiko OG XTSG and Flawless, but it's good that they're still surviving, because they are the closest to Team Chaos. Team Chaos would have been the happiest, but right now it is SEA, another team who are looking on to that top 6 spot. There it is again, using that cord and dashing in. Imagine you have a cord as a rusher in your hand, plus that Valiant dash. It's nightmare for your opponents, but right now it is Resurrection. They have created a lot of damage and problems for the other teams, but something, he gets taken down. Wait, is another team fighting? No, it is Fiasco from the longer range who's creating those problems and trouble, but Xian is still fighting. He's alone right now. Sidak is coming in, but will he be able to give that backup in time? Xian, no, he is not able to handle it. So hopefully Sidak is going to turn his monster truck in a different direction and would... Oh wait, he gets taken down. Resurrection is eliminated, Lucifer.
This might be good. With Flawless out, Resurrection out, there is some points for teams to acquire. Skylord, they're also picking. It seemed like finally the fight between Skylord and Desi Esports are breaking out. Freck, the man who almost tried to save his team from ICOG TSG, this time he is going to be again in a very dicey spot. All alone, but not the only player standing. Faiz quickly rushes in, takes him down, another elimination. 5 in total for Skylord, and Vedant is also spotted. Nisarg with his M24 wants to take a shot, and on the other end it's also an M24, so both of them trying to fight with the same weapon. UAV being destroyed. Nisarg, that's the only one right as now. But at this spot at confinement, there's another squad. That's going to be Klutsa. We spoke about them. They went to Shrines, but now they're here at confinement. Abhinav holding the front and still getting hits on Desi Esports, and more eliminations for Skylord. But it's not done yet. There is more trouble as Klutsa are now jumping into the battle.
Shubh utilizes the freeze nade. Nisarg in a spot of bother. He gets taken down. Abhinav is trying to run away. This is not the right decision. When you're fighting against an opponent, you should never show your backs. That's very basic of Free Fire Max, but right now he is continuously trying to run away because he was trying to survive. But that's not the way. Right now it is ICOG XTSG against IQ. They got 26 elimination. Will they be able to pull something like that? Right now the answer is no, because ICOG XTSG, when they are on a roll, they definitely shut you down pretty easily.
And it's very tough to take them down in early game. Therefore, ICOG TSG, they get more eliminations. Fiasco gets spotted. Instant hit. What was that? Ayush. Damn, that was quick. Trigger. But Krish, he thought he's safe, but this is SEA Esports. 1-for-1 exchange. Quick on the glue wall. Ayush jumps up. He loses a lot of health in that dabble, but still will be able to save his teammate because of Ronit, and Ronit puts Sad down. And his teammate Saksham, who decided to fire and take the player at the edge of the hill, will now be in trouble. A toss, damage being done on the net. Now Saksham also being troubled by the bolt maker. ICOG TSG have him surrounded. There is nothing that Saksham can do. A rush coming through, and Saksham will also be taken down. For what he did, he will end up suffering at the hands of ICOG TSG and give them more eliminations and surge to a total of 12.
You know, that 360-degree kind of an awareness from Ronit. Immediately the bolt maker called, because they knew that their players are going to be in the open and there are not a lot of real estate where they can take cover. But right now, ICOG XTSG, they take the fight towards the sub. And this is 4 AM, putting up some glue walls, but it is only 2 members from ICOG XTSG who have closed in. But Gyro, he's there towards those tankers, towards those crates, and it is Ronit who he deals with. Ronit was the man who was supporting his team from the longer range. Now he gets dealt with. Arjun is still trying to create one knock so that his rushers can make the movement, but they have to do it. It is Ayush and Krish. They're fighting it one by one, and Gyro gets taken down.
They take a revenge on Gyro. He's down. Confirmation as well. More could follow. I was about to hope and wish that 4 AM having all their skills ready, they might be able to quickly challenge. And they're trying to do so. Krish, he's lost half of his HP. However, he'll quickly patch up, helping and using the glue walls. Ayush providing cover fire as well, making a check and then a hit. I don't know what happened. 2 of the players from 4M thought that's an opportunity to jump in, but instantly get hit, instantly get shut down. And now Arjun, he's like, hey, it could be the same team, but no, it's a completely different team. That's going to be SEA, who tried to trouble them as well. So both 4AM as well as SEA, who tried to trouble ICOG TSG, they just get hit. Revenge taken and eliminations acquired.
You know, in that fight between ICOG XTSG, in that sub area, they are surrounded by SMR as well, and that's where Obito's shot landed on one of the SEA's player, and he got taken down. And even eventually, I think it was a player from ICOG XTSG who confirmed that elimination, and you know, they ended up having 15. Right now, the fight has not ended yet, because this is towards command post where SEA are still fighting, and this is Team Chaos. Team Chaos, they have to be super aware about their situation in the overall standings, because they are not comfortable. They are still defending their 6th spot right now, and they cannot get eliminated before SEA or a 4AM or a IQ get eliminated.
Yeah. Team Chaos, while the difference was still around 10 points while we were talking about it, they cannot be okay with that. SEA Esports have gotten 6 eliminations. Team Chaos, however, just got 1, meaning almost around 5 points closer are SEA Esports to close the distance. However, they've had a little bit of an up and down performance here on Kalahari. A lot of teams have troubled them. They've managed to get out. However, Team Chaos, we've barely seen them in action. They've gone into survival instinct, survival mode active from their end. They switched that, and now they are just looking forward to making it to the top 4, top 3, even if possible a Booyah. SMR on the other end, they tried to surround ICOG TSG, but very mechanical and precise. However, Sanket, he puts the player down. AC80 now closing the distance with the Max 7, wants to get it to a CQC, but the challenge and the Valiant dash, and now Sanket in trouble, and then it is a hit coming through.
Few players which I think he failed, and he got taken down before he could do that. But Desi Gamers and Vedant towards the platform, and I think the circle is going to end up towards Refinery. And usually we have always seen Lucifer, in the meanwhile, Pulit from Klatsa, he connects a shot onto Vedant, and that's how I think Desi Gamers have been eliminated.
A lot of phenomenal snipers we've been seeing in action. Dhruva in a 1v1 against IQ. IQ made it to the top 3 and will still be able to hold their own. Mac 10 coming into play. DVG a little too late to avenge his teammate, but still will be able to do it. And Valiant dash being used sends the other player packing and quickly gets the elimination. However, trouble still striking. The player decides to challenge. Aimbot on the 1v1. Last time was not able to deliver, and this time as well against DVG, and a Mac 10 will not be able to deliver. That's a second elimination. A 1v2 being pulled off by SMR, and they will be happy that they're still punching and making sure they are also stable in top 6.
Klatsa, they decide to move out, but wait, Rakers, what? He was not actually trying to rotate. Kaushik was the flanker. He decided to create a different angle, and they succeeded to literally bamboozle Rakers. They did not read it. Mysterious, his position is spotted for sure, but he is near a vending machine. He has only, 800 coins. He can only bring back 1, and he does bring back Kid. He would require more coins to bring back the other members. And you look at how Klutza's, team members are waiting for the team Raker Esports to come back in the lobby. Eventually when the circle becomes, smaller, it's very difficult. You saw in the last game when SMR was brought back into the game. They were picked off or plucked off in air and got eliminated eventually.
This time, however, they still managed to hold it off. All kudos to DVG while we see him a little ahead of ICOG TSG. ICOG TSG have a total of 19 eliminations. We spoke about the record which right now stands with Group A, Team Elite. 142 total points. Maybe there is a chance ICOG TSG break it. However, their previous game loss might affect them maybe. It still depends. We still have 7-8 teams surviving. If they manage to get closer to the Booyah, there is an opportunity. But Arjun clearly has an idea of where one of the players from SMR are about to make a move. And therefore, he's trying to hold him down to sides and pick him off as soon as he tries to step out. But on the other end, Sanket, he spots one player from Desi Esports, and that is going to be Freck, who gets taken instantly out. And that's an added-on elimination for Team SMR.
In Chaos, they still hold their ground. They only have 1 elimination, and this is where I get scared the most, Lucifer, because they have stopped suddenly looking out for fights. They're looking to, survive. And that's where the problem starts, because I feel, being aggressive is the best way to defend your scoreline. Because you look at the other teams around them, they are fighting SEA 7, but wait, Sanket, he has an intruder. It is Vedant, but he will get taken down. Mac 10 was the savior for Sanket. He handled it well, but 4 AM they're waiting. They have heard the gunshots. They would, would definitely want to look out for Team SMR. They would definitely want to stop them from getting inside the circle. And Parth immediately connects that AC-80 shot onto him. Parth and Gyro, he has closed in the distance. DVG dashes in. Gyro also dashes in. It's Dhruva who has to take one player down, but he eventually gets taken out by Gyro. Gyro right now, he has the M590, but he had a Max 7 actually. And he eliminated SMR. Wow, that was a good fight. But look at Team IQX TSG. They are immediately into this fight, and 4M are out for trouble.
For him, not much of a recovery chance. The platform as well as the edge of these pillars have been taken. Ayush drops with a shot and knocks the player out. Sick found as well. Big damage being done. One player still close by. I'm not sure what he decided, but Gyro, it's only an exchange. No confirmations. Aikoji TSG have numbers working in their favor. 21 in total eliminations, and Ayush having the highest at 7. His teammates also not far behind. Arjun as well as Krish sharing 6 each. This is just a very, very big game coming in from IQOG TSG. And what do the others do if they still keep taking it away? And another player falls.
Oh, no.
Default gets picked off, and IQ, they get spotted by Klutza, and their run also comes to an end at #7.
Aimbot was the last man surviving, and Klutza have also cranked up, with 15 eliminations. Resurrection getting taken down for sure. The most happiest would be IQOG XTSG and Klutza, but they're fighting at the top. The problem still lies with Team Chaos, and oh wait, it is only SEA who's in the battle. 4AM and SMR and Team IQ, they're out, which means probably their dreams of qualifying into the group stages are eliminated. Not for SMR, though SMR would be safe enough. But look at IQOG XTSG. As you mentioned correctly, they're fighting for the record of 142, which Team Elite cranked up in Group A. With 22 elimination, if they're able to end up with more amount of elimination and get the Booyah, they can do it.
There is a possibility, as we both are looking forward to. Especially also NKG having the highest in total points here in the plains. That is a total of 45. These guys already have 22. They need a little more. If you add the Booyah right now, it is going to be a total of 34 points. So they need additionally 11 points more, meaning 11 eliminations.
Yep.
And there is a chance. If you exclude them, there are still 4 teams. And all 4 of them, if you count, it is 16
Seriously
players.
calculating
Not
it.
all of them are still surviving. Therefore, there is a chance of it being either happening or not at all. With Rakers down to the last player surviving, Team Chaos, SEA Esports trying to still stand a chance to qualify. But they have Team Chaos. They have to look forward to somehow wishing for somebody to take Team Chaos down. Then SEA surviving, and there is a chance for SEA Esports to make it through the top 6.
I love the way the conversation have jumped on to how IQOG XTSG can break the numbers, right? But right now it is Team Chaos. They are still at, a little pickle with their positioning. It's not confirmed yet with SEA surviving, and if IQOG XTSG decide to push onto them, it's going to be a little more difficult, because all the 4 members inside that hut makes it more difficult for them to defend their positioning. But SEA out in the open, they are out for trouble, because Team Clutch are also peppering them. They're getting peppered from both the angles, and here comes Shobit. Wait, what? Rikas was surviving, and Arjun immediately smacks him on the head and disconnects him from the lobby. But it is Lubzz Esports fighting against the SEA, and SEA are getting shut down, and they are stuck inside this crate.
Unfortunate, not the position they would want. It's just been revives. Melters, nades, all being tossed, shooting through the glue walls as well. Now Alien Dash right into the enemy's boundary and then taking them down one after another. They did not stand a chance at all with the nade and M590s right to their face. And that is going to be SEA Esports out of the race, meaning Team Chaos, I think, can be worry-free. However, they need an opportunity, maybe rake up a little more points, because we saw they don't have a lot going for them. IQ, OG, TSG, they realize, hey, the team next to us doing nothing. Let's go towards a fight against Klutza, because they are the ones who are taking away a lot of points. And if we have a chance to take them down, a lot more to add on to our backpack, to our total points, and they are trying and jumping for it. However, Klutza, they decide that we'll take the platform and move even further up, creating a distance between themselves and the opponents.
They have a first movers advantage. Absolutely, they are, prioritizing the circle. Team Chaos, they are closing in the distance between them and IQOG XTSG. Actually, all the 3 teams are going in for the play circle right now. IQOG XTSG can be caught off guard, but look at Klutza, they're playing it very smart, Lucifer. Team Chaos, they've closed in for sure, and they want Team Chaos to fight against IQOG XTSG so that they can third party, and the fight begins. The utilities being exchanged, freeze nades, melters, and Kaushik finds the one onto Scary, immediately gets revived back, but problems are not solved yet. IQOG XTSG understands the value. They do not rush in. They understand the situation. They still want to get that Booyah. And imagine they are on the top. They know that they have dominated, and yet they understand the importance of this lobby, and they still want to end up on top.
Scary just got knocked. Team Chaos, I don't know this time, can they revive? Yes, they do. Therefore, Team Chaos still have their 4 players. But as I said, only one elimination. They have nothing else to answer. And the zone not in their favor. They're at the right edge of it. Container right behind. Melters being used because I think Klutza lost sight of Team Chaos. And now Team Chaos, if they don't make a mistake, they have an opportunity. But a Melter being tossed towards ICOG TSG should give away their position. A lot more likely that Klutza now will hold them towards their sides. Klaus, you can see what a nice angle, a sneaky one that he's holding along with Bully. Therefore, Team Chaos trying to make it out of here is going to be very difficult. However, all of them waiting for the zone to shrink and the now Melter being tossed, making sure that Team Chaos, they have to run out in the open, use the glue walls, but all of them will be weak. One after another being broken and now ICOG TSG as well, trying their best. But Klutza, what ninja, how does he find? He gets 2 with the M24. The players above, they get knocked and give some space for Team Chaos.
Oh no, it is Arjun who immediately trades player from Team Chaos. But look at Team Chaos, they don't have any space and the Klutza players are jumping down. TSG, Klutza, and also in this situation it is Team Chaos who are still fighting it out. So many glue walls. Team Chaos finally, their 4 members are sticking in and around in this situation. Krish and the rest of the members from ICOG TSG, they have divided this play circle into parts. One has been conquered by Klutza, one by ICOG TSG, and there are flying monster trucks coming in. This area is cluttered more with glue walls than members, but look at Ayush. He's on that recoil tower. He has the best of the angles. He can absolutely clinch play. From that position, he can pluck those, but he immediately leaves that positioning. It's Klutza. They're defending this circle. They want Chaos and ICOG TSG to fight. Scary gets taken down by his own launcher. Goodness me, Klutza show. He finds one more pick over there. But this fight is still not started. They're still buying time. What for? Ninja gets taken down. Klaus immediately dashes in. And this is not over yet. Team Kaushik and Team Klutza, they get eliminated. And Kaushik is the one with the grenade launcher. And Klutza ends this with the Booyah, Lucifer.
Exchange, knock after knock, launches being used, eliminations being found, couldn't even follow of which team had the better of it. If one team lost a player, if Klutza lost a player, following that was even ICOG TSG, was even Team Chaos. One after another, it came down to Kaushik with his launcher, the M79 being played to perfection. Found all the opponents one after another. Doing the after effect of the damage was Kaushik over there, and then getting this Booyah for the team. 12 placement points, 25 in total eliminations, and they put a 37 total pointer game for themselves. But this is where it started. They had to shut down a team, and that was SCA unfortunate, cornered in one position, and after them getting taken down, Team Chaos in a position where they almost looked like they were picking players off. They used the launcher, but as you mentioned, Scary, unfortunate, using it in close quarters of the glue wall will obviously do a little bit of a damage. Hindrance coming in over there, and then Kaushik, look at this. It was his launcher in that last hit that he gets on, and thankfully, because he was the first to take that player down and then he goes down, he ends up getting this Booyah for Klutza.
Yeah, I'm not at all
Brilliant
surprised.
game to end.
Wow, I am not at all surprised because he was the MVP for sure, because he had the Beaston and also the Aloe Vera to complement those grenade launcher shots, right? You know,
Yeah.
we talked about how Chaos, you know, literally made it chaotic little bit for them, where Scary mishit onto himself, and because of the glue wall he took the damage and he got taken down. But it was Kaushik, who was very smart of him, who literally used those glue walls as a ladder, and he jumped onto the top and then used the launcher so that he could convert those elimination points. And then there comes the, you know, the Aloe Vera damage as well, and you see 14 knockouts. Can you imagine 14 knockouts? I'm pretty sure that all those knockouts did not come in the last circle. He was also belting players in and out. He had 6,810 damage, and look at the overall damage his team has given in this game.
Yeah, he is sitting at 6,000, Bully at 4,000, a total of 10,000. I mean, this almost pulled off for 20,000 if possible, if his other two teammates were also close. But everybody together, brilliant job. But for him, being a grenadier, right?
Yeah.
And sitting at 6,000 damage is just unbelievable stuff. And on top of that, wielding a Morse, we generally see the snipers. It should have been maybe Bully, but this is how the tactics of one unique active skill is bringing in. Teams are figuring out, hey, why not send a player super close and then make him use the launcher? And that's how it worked for Lubzz here in the Libya, with a roll of 37 points for the team. ICOG TSG, they fall short of the record of an individual game, but have they clinched the overall today's standings? That's something that we have to take a look at. 4 AM, they got points, but we spoke about it. Is it going to be enough? SCA also same number of points at 16. Rakers, they were already in the top. We don't have to be worried about them. Team SMR get 9. I don't think they also have to be worried about it. Intense Quake at 9 points. They were a little too far, but Team Chaos, this was the last. This was at the edge. They have only 9 points compared to the 16 that SCA have. So I'm not too sure. 4 AM also have same. Let's cross our fingers and see where it goes.
Yeah, but look at the circle analysis. Team Chaos was definitely the one to watch out for, because that was the only spot who we were concerned about. But they decided that we will stick to Refinery. We would stick to Refinery. We would want to play this out, on the basis of survival. They did it pretty well. They ended up messing it up. They almost got the Booyah. They would have thought that, because look at the way they were all along the lines towards Refinery. And we know that in the map of Kalahari, it's more likely towards Refinery or either towards Command Post where the circle ends. But the way that last circle turned out, it was a spectator's game, right, Lucifer? Because I'm sure the players won't be able to handle themselves. You saw the shift coming in towards the eastern side, right, where we saw how Lubzz was sitting on the platform, right? And they were always prioritizing the circle alongside ICOG XTSG. We still thought that, there will be some knocks coming in. Knocks were there at a single point where Team Chaos was being peppered by freeze nades from both ends, ICOG XTSG and also from the top where, Team Lubzz was sitting. But they still managed to survive there, and it ended in the very last seconds of the circle.
Man, oh man, what an unbelievable game. I am pretty sure if this came down to them getting themselves the champions title at the end of today's FFMIC 2026 Fall, it would have been unbelievable to just look at an M79 and also that player going down just before, just after taking down the last player from the opponent team. With this, let's take a look at today's standings and see if it is going to be the same teams that we saw in the top 6. And yes, it is. Team Chaos make it across by just 3 points just because of their survival towards the end of it. And 4 AM and SCA Esports, they get left out by 3 as well as 6 points respectively.
We were talking about a top-heavy game. What's this for a performance, right? ICOG XTSG with 153, Lubzz with 146, and Resurrection as well with 136. We forgot about Resurrection because they got eliminated in this game pretty early, but they were there, right, with 136. And imagine they would have been, available in the last circle, it would have been chaos. And I am sure that they would have also eyed for that 150 plus mark. But ICOG XTSG, they've at least broken the overall record of Team Elite, who scored 142 points in Group A with 153. That's gone.
Now, at least in today's journey, as a recap, right, the invited team here in Fall, they've made it through, and along with that, the 2 city qualified team, that is Team SMR as well as Lubzz.
Correct.
One from Bangalore and the other from Kolkata, both have made it through into the next stage, that is our group stages. So congratulations to them, and even the teams from the FFC mode, Resurrection, Rakers as well as Team Chaos. This almost looked a lot tougher for Team Chaos because you could see the number of points. However, with that, let's take a look finally with the lot of 6. ICOG TSG, they'll be happy with Ronit's addition. They have managed to power through and surge against a record set by the City Qualifiers team as themselves to show who's the next powerhouse.
I would still say, Lucifer, that Team SMR would be the one who would be super proud, because the rest others had experience, had known faces, had some kind of players in them who had already played a bigger stage, right? So SMR would be proud. Would be proud of themselves the way they have, showcased. But it is, of course, for the likes of ICOG XTSG, who have definitely scored higher or the highest in this lobby. Or actually, among the 4 groups we have seen, they have scored the highest among all the 4 groups combined and got 153. And look at the total damage, 67,301. Are you kidding me?
Record setters here. Ikoji x TSG. They wanted multiple Booyahs. Yes, we could clearly see them trying for it. But hey, the lobby was so intense and top heavy that everybody wanted a bit of that cake. Everybody wanted a bit of a Booyah. And that's the reason they do not get multiples in terms of 3 or 4, but still 2, and still have their top elimination leader as Arjun. 33 elimination. Shubh also not far away, 33 of his own. Then comes in Ayush at 32, then Zian at 31, and Dafiq at 25 elimination. Today was not a complete Dafiq day. We know him as the Dafiq Destroyer, but as of now, it seems like there's a lot more other teams climbing up this hill, looking forward to destroying the lobby. And what was Zian? Look at, he might have 31 eliminations, but in this elimination leader lobby, we have him at the highest damage at 29,000. Even the person who's sitting at the highest eliminations is sitting at 22,000. This tells us of how powerful Zian was today.
You know, you say that Dafiq did not have the best of the days, and imagine he's still there in top 5 with 25 elimination. Now, imagine if he has the best of the days, then what kind of a performance you expect? And, you know, as I said, that today was a spectator sport, and this ended up where all the experienced teams, all the bigger names qualified. And definitely this is something which is for other groups to learn, because there are groups which are coming tomorrow.
And this is day 4 of our play-ins. So play-ins is not yet ended. 3 more days of play-ins that we're going to be seeing a new group tomorrow. 6 more games that will be going through, and the top 6 to figure out. But congratulations for the teams that we have found so far.